FEMA is the $750 that FEMA is giving people is a loan. Wonderful. Absolutely. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, where today we go back into the pretend hellscape to escape the real one. Welcome back, folks. Right, so today we're playing more Forever Winter, as I have gotten very comfortable with the game in the background. And today we're going to do some silly, and as the title says, dangerous and altogether stupid things, wherein I try to find where the game breaks, because... You see, Forever Winter is a very nice game, however, it's also barely functioning in a lot of ways. As expected, because it says early access on the tin, but this is probably the most early access game I've seen in a while, or at least the most early access game I've seen in a while for a game that is good. But so, let me bring up everything over here. We should be already capturing... There we go. Okay. Wait, are you trying to balance the game? No, I'm trying to destroy it. But of course, we can't really destroy the stable system of warfare that we live under. What will we do then? We'll have to go back to our day jobs. You know, if they still exist after the nuclear holocaust. Had a look at the lore, too. Oh boy, I expected a lot of this, but oh boy, it's a fun time out there. Anyway. Welcome, folks. This is what happens when the devs give into peer pressure and go into early access way too soon. I honestly think it was a good idea to go into early access, but you can definitely see how a lot of this game is just ideas that are barely functioning, and that's about it. The gameplay's basic loop exists, and that's about it, which is rather unfortunate for something this lavish, but at least the art department's doing its job. The art department has everything down pat, my goodness. Okay, so I have a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, but also, well, the first thing is I have lots of money now. I have more in assets, though, but we have to go do something real quick because, I prestiged Bagman, and now I can't use the grenade launcher, and we're definitely gonna need something like that. Or heavy rifles, which we can use, but I do have such wonderful things as 2 grenade launchers, thank you donation box, the anti-tank rifle, the NDW-20 is also in here. There's also the USAS-12, which is busted as fuck, and we're gonna be using that mostly for the most part. Yes, so I have discovered very many interesting things. Most of them are in loot boxes. Well, the gacha boxes, which only spawn currently on one map, I think. I have not ever seen a gacha crate on any other map other than Enclave. But one thing we need to do is get some experience. We also need to stock up on medkits, but we're going to be doing that in stages. One of the more interesting things that I want to do tonight is actually just go out there with as much ammunition as possible and see how long I can stay out there. To see how long until the game becomes completely unfucking playable due to scale and difficulty. And as you can see, I have quite a lot of ammo to choose from, though unfortunately some of that stock could be higher because, happen to die a lot. When you die, your rig parts and your weapons stay, but literally everything in your inventory goes bye-bye, and that's how I lose most of my medkits. Right, okay, so what do we want to do first? We want to study the oversight that I found. Remember how I said this game was barely working? Yeah, I found a way, I found something that's probably not good. It's probably very work in progress that I don't think the devs may have noticed, but good, we're already in Scrapyard Nexus. Yeah, so a Scrapyard Nexus has an issue, but I need a little bit of XP here for Bagman, and unfortunately, you see, as I play the classes, I feel like it's either Shaman or Bagman, and that's it. At the end of the day, these two are so hopelessly meta, it's kind of silly. There's really no other reason to play any of the other characters. You either have tons of health, or you can sprint real fast, and you have massive amounts of inventory space in either case. Weapon bonuses don't seem like they do anything. So really, you're playing Shaman, or you're playing Bagman. Though I want to play Maskman, but more than Maskman, I want to also have access to customization options, because as you might have noticed, if you die over and over again, your character changes slightly, and it's rather funny. I'd like to have control over that customization. Old man has boosted healing. That's also something I want to see, because I want to see if that fucking matters. Because I don't quite know if it actually does anything. So does medical expert giving medkits more health? More healing or faster healing? Does that actually equalize having more health. So do we have Mighty Glacier or Self-Healing Zombie? Either way, you're kind of Self-Healing Zombie with large medkits, but do these equal out? But the biggest problem, I think, is that literally no one but Bagman gets access to the endgame rigs, which is rather bad. But the heavy container rig is actually, you know, that's somewhat good for the old man. That I feel like the pack mule and the rack are better. So, before I forget, let's get on to what we were doing here, because I need to go get XP. And we're also gonna make some money. Okay, so right, we're gonna take the pack mule because it's space, but we're not really gonna need that much of it. Okay, so... Right, shotgun ammo. Right, so we want 250 rounds of shotgun ammo. It's gonna go kind of fast. And that's really it. I could take everything else, it wouldn't matter. I need to go get large medkits. And in fact, before we go, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna need this many medkits, but just in case. But before we go here, let's loot out at, you know, Hassenberg here, because, see, this is becoming my bottleneck here. Needing more medkits. Ammo, not so much. Medkits. Because small first aid kits are totally useless, and that might be something that the old man is actually good for. When you're playing Bagman and you're, you know, just blundering directly into the line of fire, the advanced first aid kits keep you alive, and basically your operating time is judged by that and your ammo. Every other med kit is incredibly underwhelming, so we'll probably try and figure out if the old man can actually make these competitive. Okay, so, but now, come along, ladies and gentlemen, and let us see an oversight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I may have found the fastest way to grind money and XP in this game. What is this, you may ask? I haven't actually verified it because I have to go off on YouTube and watch the tons of content videos that I've already, you know, been dropping for guides and, you know, exposés and whatnot about the game. So I haven't clarified if anyone knows about this yet, but it was kind of a stupid, silly thing, and it's one of those things where you accidentally trip over something, and, you realize, wait a minute, this is broken as fuck. So, we're in Scrapyard Nexus! What does this map have to do with anything? Well, as I said, there's an oversight here. So, what's the oversight here? I may have found an incredibly easy way to get money that is safe, and takes about 2 minutes. So what do we do in Scrapyard Nexus? Well, we turn around and immediately leave.
Well, let's roll out.
Why am I doing this? Well, it's because the extraction, or timed extractions, are incredibly farmable and safe. The waves eventually stop, and they don't get worse. So you're free to shoot holes in the cyborgs until they just stop. The Eurasians will hate you, but you can just sell your loot back to the traders for, you know, more reputation. As you can see, the USAS is absolutely fucking bonkers. It sells for 50,000 credits for some reason, and I think it's because you're not supposed to have it. But, right, so, loot. Now, you want to do this on the floor, because if you're standing on the platform over there, you'll actually conflict with leaving and collecting loot, so you won't be able to use your E key to pick up loot. So you actually want to be on the ground after you trigger the extraction. But, as we see here, I had plenty of time to grab loot, and the enemies aren't even properly aggroed anymore. Ah, good, they're sending more of them! Come on, boys! As you actually, you know the funny thing is, this is so good I don't even have to aim. I can just do that. I will aim for the drones because they can be kind of weird though. As you can see, where are my shots going? Hello? Excusez-moi, Mr. Bullets. Where are you going? I haven't the slightest fucking clue what's going on there, but for some reason, sometimes your shots are just blocked. It may be the top of your character model that's doing it, or maybe the rig. I don't know. But for some reason, if you look up, your shots don't exist. I don't know why. Anybody out there? The fox kind of dance. Well, there's a reason to bring a different gun. Yes, faulty hitboxes, which is kind of a problem in this game. But I think that's it. It's usually about maybe 4 waves. That's about it. And as you can see, the amazing tense extraction music is still playing, yet there's nothing fucking going on. Also, by the way, don't try to explore the rest of the level after you do this, because the enemies will immediately aggro on you and they instantly know where the fuck you are. So it's actually a terrible idea to go back into the level after doing this, because the AI just cheats then, which is kind of funny, but there's the oversight. Oh, the music has finally stopped. Well, I guess we could leave now. And that took altogether what, like 4 minutes? You could do it in 2 if you're actually not sitting here talking and you're actually, doing it as fast as possible. So yeah, that's the oversight. I don't know if you could fix that quickly, because it seems like timed extractions are kind of broken like that, so they either need to be rethought, or Scrapyard Nexus needs to be rethought, or somebody needs to take a look at this. At least. But hey, look at all this shit we just got, just standing there waiting for the cyborgs to come at us. I found the flesh tank, however, I've never actually killed the thing. We may do that today. I've seen it, I've just never been in position to actually shoot it till it dies. Also, the 40mm grenades make the tanks fly around like they weigh nothing, which is rather funny. Looking to grab the game, worth the dollars? I would say so, but when it says early access, Mr. Necroblade, it means it. It's, the game functions, but only just. So the game works, but it is effectively like playing, PvE Tarkov on like with the PvE Tarkov mod. So it's here. It's just very basic, but is it worth the money? I think so. Have a hunter killer spawn after a certain amount of time after activating extraction. Actually, I've never tested that. We should probably do that. However, we will also be farming the hunter killers, because I've also found another amazing oversight. Gift received. Oh, well, they give you an alert now when you actually get something out of the donation box. Interesting. Okay, so what did I get? Actually, I think it got shoved directly out of the inventory. So this is what I had in there. What did I get? Do I have anything that's... Okay, so those are still there. Okay, RSAS. I don't know what they gave me. I'm not really sure how the donation box works, but it is basically just put unused weapons in, get random good weapon out. I don't quite know what I got. I think it might have been the pistol, because I think I put 4 rifles in there. But since we're not using these, we'll just toss all that shit in there, and there you go. Good. So you could put 5 pistols, I think, in here, or 4 rifles, or something. Could be love, maybe hope. There is no hope in this terrible place. But also, as you can see, I've made it to the end game, and the end game becomes quite easy. I can't actually put any more water in, they won't let me. I could buy the upgrades, but I think I might break something. There is water, and I have quite a lot of it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, and as we can see, Aramaki doesn't like us anymore because the Eurasians don't like us killing their mindless cyborg serfs, really? Because, oh boy, the lore on that one's, well, it's exactly what people said it was. They just kind of round up poor people and immigrants and, force them to become cybernetically modified and then throw them at machine guns. What you see is what you get there. But okay, so I still have everything in my inventory. Duh. I have no idea why, but the cyborgs have a ton of alcohol on them. I haven't seen the lore explanation for this. I'm just going to assume they use it for some form of very inefficient cooling, because, you know, liquid water's kind of at a premium. That will actually corrode lots of parts while it's doing that, but I don't think they build the cyborgs to last. Okay, so we've got 150, well, $1,590,000. Okay, so how much money do we get here? I think it's like 50, maybe 100,000, depending on exactly how many, what kind of good drops you get. But even the alcohol is actually pretty good because you get so much of it. Did they increase the price of fertilizer? I don't think it was that expensive. The cyborgs are Mom's robot brand confirmed. Pretty much! Also, by the way, apparently, the Mother Courage, while terrifying, is entirely passive unless you shoot at it. Oh, hey, actually, no, that's not my inventory. Right, no, I thought I was looking at my inventory for a second there. I thought I had 3 RPKs. Whoops. No, that's your inventory. I can make it my inventory real quick, but I don't got any reason to. Okay, so we're up to about 30,000 on just that. Now we're at 40,000, 50,000 actually. 60,000. And it looks like, yeah, okay, just short of 70,000-ish there. Actually, well, that'd be 80,000 because it's minus, well, actually, no, it'd be 70. Right, because we started at minus 10 because it was 590. So yeah, all that money in 4 to 2 minutes. So, that might be an oversight, guys. Though I don't think the game is really in a state where you become massively overpowered just because you have a shit ton of money. I mean, it's nice to make yourself, you know, make all of your assets effectively expendable. However, you don't really have that much power just because you have a shit ton of money. You can make certain failures, unimportant. However, dying in missions is still really bad, even if you don't, whatchamacallit. Even if you have, millions and millions of dollars, because you still lose literally everything you have on you, which could mean a lot of your ammo and a lot of your med kits, which is actually the limiting factor I am discovering. Speaking of which, I will go in and buy more 12 gauge. And I will also go buy more 12 gauge from the other vendor. So having lots of money is nice, though there isn't really that much to do with it, and you can still really fuck over your day by dying. And it really comes down to the bottlenecks that the traders have for ammunition and also resupplying yourself. You can quickly get yourself back up there with ammunition supply, but that just means you have to run missions without actually killing anybody. But that's not what we're doing today. Oh dear God, we're not doing that today. Stealth mit? No. Maybe if we absolutely fuck up tremendously, but no. And also, as you can see, I have a useless amount of first aid kits, or small first aid kits. Because, well, I don't really use them, and I pick them up basically everywhere. However, right, so, now that we've got some XP, the money is, comedic, but wasn't really necessary. Now we need grenade launchers! Well, grenade launcher training, because now, oh boy. Now we're gonna go hunting mechs. Well, exos. So, that goes in there. We're gonna need that where we're going. Okay, where is the grenade? The 100, I should actually buy more HE. I don't think I'm gonna need this much, but this is the point where we're just gonna kind of go silly with this and see what happens. Soon to be exos, yes. You with your giant robots piloted by allegedly cute girls, says the lore. I'm taking them, they're mine now. Right, so, right, yeah, vendors, get that 40mm HE, because if we happen to fuck up and die, I don't have any left. Right, so... The girls are the excellent. Well, kind of both. I'm taking the cute girls and the parts from the mechs. But really what we're doing is we're going to now try to encourage the hunter killers as much as humanly possible without actually dying. Because see, I had a bit of a pile of trophies here, but I sold it to actually have all of this money. I sat there for an hour and a half in one mission and farmed the hunter killers. I hunted the hunter killers. It's rather easy, actually, and killing them doesn't escalate really anything, and if you just kind of camp in a corner and wait for them to come by, you can shoot them dead, and they won't even get a shot off at you if you stagger them properly. Also, give me that. I know Toothy is a one-hit kill. Toothy is also fucking invulnerable, so you shouldn't even go near that fucking thing. Apparently, unfortunately, a lot of the bosses are actually invulnerable. Some of them aren't. And tanks apparently are passive so long as you don't actually shoot at them. As the Mother Courage is also passive until you shoot at her. The Exos and medium mechs are actually killable, but it apparently takes like 80 anti-tank rounds to put down a fucking medium mech. So, their loot drops are not that good yet. But there's a lot of actually, like there's a lot of, like, mid-bosses and, you know, you can't even really call them mid-bosses because they're unfucking killable. They're final bosses. Like, things like the Grabber are just straight up unkillable. You can't kill them, which is rather silly. But this game is really trying to kind of impress upon you that you are not the guy, so you can't literally kill everything, but I feel like the enemy behaviors and balances are all over the place right now. This is another one of those amazing early access, still not done yet qualities about the game. Helicopters will prioritize other armored units. Yes, helicopters and mechs will actually attack everything else but you, and they will only attack you after they run out of targets. So if you see a mech or a helicopter standing there not doing anything, do not go near it. When it's actually attacking something else, then it's distracted and you can just leave. Or you just like slide right by it, or maybe even kill it. Okay, so how much no, I need more shotgun ammo. Many more shotgun shell. Actually, that container is actually empty. Right, okay. Many more shotgun shells. We're going to need a lot. Even more. That should be sufficient. Right, okay, so since we're doing this, we will get a lot of loot out of this. However, the problem is you don't really want to be standing in a lot of places. So this is where, unfortunately, if we die horribly, which could happen, is where most of my medkits are going to go. But we really need to be able to heal in order to stay afloat as much as we need ammo. But so let's do something stupid. That doesn't mean you won't catch a stray round. Yes, unfortunately. Now, hopefully we get the mech spawn here because that will instantly set off the hunter killers, and that's kind of what we want. We want to get this train of violence going.
Always looks different. And always looks the same.
Yes, because there's only a handful of maps currently in the game. Thank you for your amazing, amazing insights, Bagman. Okay, I think I hear the mech down there. Or it might be in the hangar. Okay, there is no mech here. Right, so it must be in the hangar. Which you can get into from here, but it's also kind of weird. Because the climbing hitboxes for this area are kind of all over the fucking place. So I believe the only one that actually works is this one. Yeah, you kind of have to hop and double tap the ledge there because it's not quite... There we go. It's not quite there yet, but okay, so this is the middle hangar. Okay, door isn't open yet, but there's definitely a mech in there. I hope it's an Exo. It's kind of hard to tell just by the sounds. It could be a medium mech, which is quite bad. I don't think I actually have the resources to kill a medium mech currently. It'd be funny, but I don't think I actually have enough grenades to do that. Oh, good, it's an Exo. Alright, so... Alright, what are we dealing with here in terms of... Okay, there's a squad there, which we can probably just... Yep. Okay. Your Oscars ain't shit, I'm taking them. Okay, rare circuitry. You actually have to go into the fire in order to actually get the loot out of these guys, which is kind of silly. But also, they don't really spawn very good loot anyway.
Easy day.
I would like to grab the loot, please. It's very hot. Thank you! Okay, so there's that. There's a mission to save a mech pilot. Yeah, it's also apparently kind of obtuse. I haven't looked into it, but she's kind of hard to find. But you can, in fact, save the cute girl. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else back here. I don't doubt that the enemy is about to spawn in like 3 seconds behind me. I also don't want to stay in this hangar because I know a medium mech can spawn in here and the game will just straight up do that to you. I don't feel like carrying explosives today, thank you. I've already got a big enough target painted on my back. Aha! Speak of the fucking devil! Get a little closer here, maybe not totally exposed. As we can see, the AI is quite stupid. They also have a sight range of like 5 feet in some cases. Sometimes, though, they will just straight up see through walls and come after you, though, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save the rest of the loot for medkits. I am denoting space. That mech is still burning, unfortunately, but I think it only dropped 1 container. They can actually drop like 3 of them at a time, but they kind of fling out all over the goddamn place, so you might just miss it. Okay, it's a lockbox, why not? Stealing shit does piss off the HKs, so if we want the HKs, stealing shit does in fact help. Weapon mods are weightless, so why not? As far as I know, anyway, I don't think they take up any space. Do you have any shotgun ammo in there? You probably do, right? Well, yeah, that will. The HE is good enough for that. Alright, so now we gotta get ourselves out of an interesting spot here. Ah! Well, there's the HK.
Circling around.
As we can see, uselessly staggered into oblivion. Yeah, they whoa! That doesn't mean the game won't try certain things on us, though. Fuckers. A mech just spawned down there. Why, yes, hello. Oh, those are HKs. Okay, this is where things get kind of dangerous. Because as you can see, we're aggroing people, but they're kind of just spawning basically off-screen. Like 3 feet off-screen, but they're getting stuck on that door, so good. None of them know how to open that door. Fantastic. Okay, so now we have like 3 HKs per, like, spawn of them. I want to see how fast, how far we can go with that one. Because Because I don't really know. But I think it's probably a good idea to go inside now after we liberate yet more exo parts.
Find cover.
You know, just casually sticking my hand in a bonfire for parts that aren't actually worth it. Oh, ow. Oh, no. Oh, no! Ah! Oh, no! The fire bugged my screen. Oh, no! Well, that ended really quick. Well, there you go. I found another bug. The fire makes me fucking blind. Well, shader error killed me. Well, there we go. I found a new one. But yeah, you don't really want to stay in that area. All right, we have to go get our shit back, but I have enough money to walk off that loss, but the loss of those heavy medkits or advanced medkits is quite bad. Isn't that just smoke? No, basically, there's probably a technical term for it, but, you know, fire bright, it overexposes your eyes, and thus you can't fucking see, but as you saw there, the effect lasted a little bit longer than it should have and made me totally fucking blind for several seconds, and then I died. That's probably not supposed to happen, but hey! Early access, I'm helping. So developers, fix that shit. We've already got the one oversight with timed extractions, and yeah, me being blind thanks to fire. Very bad. But okay, so now we have to go back and get my shit, but as we can see here, we can walk that one off. It's very sad, but I need to go back and get my I need to go back and get my, my equipment, and also I need to go stock up on more medkits after that one. So we got that. As you can see, we were totally fine, but that area is difficult to engage in. I think we're gonna do a different one this time, a much more safer one. Right, okay, so... Right, so here's the problem. I need more first aid kits to try that stupid shit again, and I don't got them. Right, okay, so... Let's see here. We've got 200 rounds of shotgun ammo. I think I need more. Unfortunately, this is where we run into our problem of I run out of ammo, because I don't got no more. But okay, so good there. Grenade launcher, well, actually, I can still fit more 40mm in there if I want to. Right, okay. The traders are gonna hate us after this, however, we can kind of just get their favor back by selling them the salvage that we take from killing their friends. So we kind of just sell them back their own mail and they're happy. This is a wonderful place, really.
Game faces, people.
Okay, so first off, get my shit back. Second, go back into the actual medical area and see if we can get some medkits before we start shooting everyone. So, unfortunately, fire bad, but exos aren't really all that valuable anyway, so that was my own fault, more or less. But hey, we discovered a bug. The fire can blind you. It's probably not intentional. Top of the morning, boys. Bye. Now, as you see, there's a bit of a problem with the game engine in that you see these... You see the guardrails? They're actually solid objects. The hitboxes are actually obstruct enemy sight. Sometimes even their bullets. Actually, all the time. It blocked the bullets all of the fucking time, more or less. Is this door open? I think... No, it is not. They're spawning more enemies all around me, but the other squad has gone up there and we'll be fine. Is that door open? No, that door is not open. Okay, I think that squad actually went up there and despawned, which is funny. Okay, do you got any medkits? This is what we're really looking for here, large medkits. Though, having more ammo is also nice. And, hey, And then they magically reappeared down here, of course. Oh, good, this door's open. How's the salvage? Fire killed us, but not in the way you would expect. Okay, so it looks like... Yeah, nope, no spawn in here too. Okay. Fire drowned you? It blinded me. That's what happened. Okay, so E-nuggets are actually pretty okay. I guess we can just get the small med kits too, because they're here. I should probably sell off my stock of them, but they're here. It burned out my retinas. Yes, ow. The unfortunate thing is, because that loot spawn spawns underneath a flaming wreck, you can't really get that without doing that. But of course, if I'm gonna be critical about it, those loot spawns aren't worth it at all, since I don't think there's a mech part that's really over 10,000 credits, or like 15 at most, which is not worth it at all. MREs are healing items, I guess, and, well, you just fucking take everything, whatever, why not? I don't have enough space, or I'll have a lot of space, but...
This should buy me some new upgrades.
However, it doesn't look like we're gonna get that many, yeah, we're not really gonna get that much in the way of healing items. Good, finally, one. Hopefully I don't wind up just using it. How about this? It's just loot. There's really nothing in the gold room we really need. I think all the medical supply containers spawn out here. There's loot. Medical. And it's all small medkits. Yeah, so maybe the old man maybe has some points here. Maybe we'll go level him some. Because as you can see here, in order to do what I'm doing right now, I really need those large medkits, and that's a bottleneck for supply. Because I have to kind of rely on random spawns in order to get those. I'm having an okay day, Sagus. How are you? Now, this is also gonna get kind of weird because the enemy spawns are a little uncontrollable in that they will spawn directly fucking behind you here. This is also a terrible place to actually fight, but we're gonna go camp over there.
Bring the rain.
Ah, there we go. I need more heals. There's also a guy still alive over there. I think that's all of them. Yes. Okay, so that's a very bad spot to actually stand and do that, because the enemies will start spawning behind you then. However, here is actually relatively safe. Are you enjoying your Reddit weather? Yes, I saw that. What the fuck is Reddit weather? Please articulate what is a Reddit weather. Also, I hadn't noticed that I do have an extra drum magazine for this gun, but I didn't actually put it on. Rain is weather. What are we teaching these kids today? So we haven't actually alerted the hunter killers. But you see, the problem here with this area is that the enemies will spawn literally right over there where the rest of that train car is, and then spawn literally right there, and then also march down this hallway if you're standing here, which is really fucking annoying and artificial, but that's unfortunately how the spawns work. Right, okay, so these are technically medkits. Yeah, you're fine, fucking just take everything. Oh, look, drones. I hear them. Cigarettes aren't terribly valuable, but that guy was clearly selling them. That. Where are my bullets going, video game? I'm fairly certain that must be Bagman's head hitbox or the rig hitbox that absorbs your bullets. That's rather annoying. Also, the AI has problems doing that too. Okay, what do we have here? I think I've got a billion light medkit. No, actually, I don't really have any. Actually, no, yes I do. I just didn't actually see them. What the fuck? Never mind, we need more violence. Ah, there they are! Alright, well, you know what? We're just gonna... Good! Finally! Also, one of them... One of them's got a 50 cal, and I don't really want to fight them over there anyway. That area's... The hitboxes for that area are really weird because of all the shit coming out of the ground. Okay, where are my medkits? There are my medkits.
Don't let them break our position.
Any day now, boys! Come on, I know there are more of you out there. That HK spawn should be showing up about now. I don't know where they show up, but they spawn on the map, and it usually takes them about 2 minutes to find you, at least here. Sometimes you can actually walk into where they're spawning, though, and you'll find them earlier. I think I see them. I guess we're just gonna be, you know, living off the land here. How do you do, sir? Well, here we go. All right, folks, we go until we run out of ammo. They're stuck behind a wall. There are more. Of course there are more. There are always more. I'm just gonna have to... See, this is annoying, but I kind of have to just kind of grab all of this shit and just deal with it later, because I do need medkits. However, I don't want all of this wonderful loot to go to waste. It'd be a terrible thing to just kill all these people and just leave all of this valuable shit here. My god, how wasteful. Now, if I know my spawns, that second hunter killer is somewhere around here somewhere. It's whatever I can. Take it, take whatever I can. Alright, most of that's ammo. However, we do need to keep attracting the enemy. This is your wake-up call. This is your 5 a.m. mortar barrage. I heard you. There's a drone. It's actually probably in the wall somewhere.
Circling around.
Do you have large medkits? I would like large medkits. Where are your large medkits? For the love of Christ. Only light ones. There's a drone in a wall now. Hello? Look at me, I'm stealing shit! Really? I guess I have to go up there to force the spawn. That's usually how it works, and it looks like it's still working like that. Oh, hey. Trophies. And more medkits. We're gonna need those. Those are HKs. I don't want to be fighting these guys up here. Run! Run to the safety corner! Run! Those are HKs, they're gonna be showing up here anyway. I'm assuming those are HKs. Yep. Okay, so now we've got 3 at a time. It looks like 4, maybe? Sir. Not sure what happened there, but I guess the pathfinding worked. That's their stagger face. As you can see, you can kind of just corner camp like an absolute fucking champion and get away with it. Okay, so one of you's has got to have med kits. No, not you. That's money. Unfortunately, it's also a lot of space. Ah, there we go. Oh, that's actually like $1,000 scope. Thank you very much. Fuck off, drone. I said fuck off. He actually... he flew into a wall and then he can shoot me through the wall. Wonderful. Fucking just... I've chosen violence. That sounded like an entire squad suddenly spawning. Okay, so now we can see like 3, like 4 or 5. Okay, there's an HK. There's 2 HKs. Okay.
You gotta move.
So yes, they do escalate, right? I got to the point where I got to 1, and even if I killed all of the... Actually, no, that's just a whole squad. There is the whole ass squad. Well, now they know where I am now. Okay. Or perhaps they listened to the grenade. I'm not quite sure, but I think... Okay, well, there is they. I don't know what can spawn as HKs, but I know at least the EOD guys can spawn as HKs. Don't know about anybody else, though. the single most valuable thing they usually have, but really? Well, I'm running low on medkits too, so that's annoying. So there's that at least. The safety corner!
We got a counter.
Good. A mighty fortress is my god. And my fortress is this corner. This corner is God. Alright. Around 100 rounds of shotgun ammo left. It appears they heard that. Well, come on, boys, get on with it. Let's get over here. I know you never shut the fuck up, and you're basically walking to my position anyway. Okay. So, unfortunately, a lot of the loot disappeared. And this is now senseless violence with no real reason other than... Hey! That I need, thank you. Shotgun ammo on medkits, good. Some of the European troopers, these guys, actually have shotguns. Ah. I think you hit your bag limit, Goon. Not really, because I'm still able to pick shit up. Unfortunately, I only have 3 large medkits. That's not exactly, the bountiful harvest that I wanted. However, we're getting shit tons of weapon XP, even though, unfortunately, the USAS doesn't really have any upgrades. Oh, look! Some guys immediately running to my position over there. Good. I accidentally saw them through a solid object. Okay, so now we're getting really... Get the fuck over here. That, even though they forgot where I was, funny enough, they actually de-aggroed. So I think we're gonna run out of ammo pretty quickly here. However, well, body count's fairly high, even though this is uselessly high at this point. I can't take all of this loot home. But this is basically just to analyze the AI's behavior. Oh, okay, so they're in a wall now. Okay, got that guy, no. See, Phonto, shenanigans like this or what? Scavs are typically shot on sight. Yeah, I bet, but, well, we're not all terrible bastards. I'm just testing. I'm trying to make the world a better place. By getting rid of a lot of people. I'm also helping to redistribute assets. As I did look into the lore, and it's rather fun what's going on with these guys. Because, most of the men on the ground haven't really been notified of the whole your government no longer exists. And they're not really taking their orders from generals or any kind of higher ups anymore. They're taking them from AI. AI that's just kind of doing stuff and saying, hey, if you take this hill, I'll give you these, I'll give you MREs, or I'll give you ammo, or medical supplies. So it's just kind of telling people what to do and dropping supplies on their heads when they listen. So really, the more you analyze it, the more it's starting to become something of a religion. So these guys really don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of listening to a computer more or less, you know, justify their day job. They may not even realize it's a computer. Some of them may even think it's a god. People think the giant robots are gods, clearly. Okay, that looks like an entire squad of EODs, too. Interesting. Lower stability is desirable as it reduces recalls despite being indicated in red. Oh, so okay, so stability go down. Good. Interesting. This game has a lot of problems with, you know, its UI and how it does things. But okay, stability go down is good. Noted. That means I can just slap on whatever fucking modules I want. Also, that entire EOD squad just despawned. They walked away and despawned. Interesting. Oh, wait, nope. That's shotgun ammo. Who knows that foregrip does nothing but lower stability. And a lot of other things. It looks like any kind of advanced modules past the basic ones lower stability. So I thought it was kind of like a catch between the weapon gets more accurate, but it gets more unstable in full auto fire. But the one thing I'm noticing is that full auto is meta. Having a bottomless mag for an automatic weapon is meta as fuck. Like, accuracy kind of doesn't matter. He knows. He knows exactly where I am, but he's doing some very odd things getting here.
Enemy contact.
Okay, it seems to actually be calming down now, which is odd. And ammo check. We're about 2 magazines, so I can handle one more fight, it seems like, and then I gotta just immediately leave, which is doable. I've got the grenades. Okay, those are, well, the weapon mods we could take. Or, fuck it, just fill the inventory. The 50 cal is incredibly heavy, though, so I'm not gonna take that. That's just a weapon. Okay. That was actually it's somewhat more exciting, but as you can see, genocide mode, as it were, is actually not that bad so long as you understand how the enemies spawn. Like, for example, they'll spawn in this area if you're not here, but they will never come out of that door. But that door is also closed, and I don't think the AI can actually open doors either. I just noticed that door was closed. So the AI can't actually come out of here unless you're already here, or rather not already here. Super Jerky reclosed, discussing. Yeah, there's a lot of really rough elements to this game. Like, the animations and the hitboxes are all incredibly rough. See, tickled that the SVD is incapable of having any sort of optic. Really? Doesn't it have a pick rail for its doesn't it have an upgraded pick rail? Like for its upper receiver. Also, tiny fucking head. Well, Bagman's actually, incredibly tall, Norzone. It's kind of funny because you actually have to crouch through most doorways, which is it's kind of humorous that way. I hope they keep that, because it's funny. It's unintentionally funny, which is something that apparently is part of this game's design. A lot of unintentionally funny shit. Well, intentionally unintentionally funny, if you get my meaning. And now we've just lowered down to, yeah, just 1 HK and nothing else. There we go. Well, come on, but, well, actually, I probably shouldn't be attracting that entire squad with such little ammo, but I've got the grenade launcher, we'll be fine. Time to skip town? Just about. It doesn't look like we're actually, because I sat here for like an hour and a half farming 1 HK over and over and over again. Fuck it, those guys aren't even coming. I like to think that the AI doesn't have amnesia. It's just that you are so insignificant in this game that they don't bother with long searches unless you really piss them off. Well, apparently at this point they don't even really bother even if I do piss them off. More than likely, though, the orders that the task-based AI that's, giving the AI actually orders, considers me totally insignificant, and their actual job is far more rewarding than actually trying to hunt down me.
I'm gonna sleep for a week.
Unless it's the HKs, which makes sense because if you're stealing lots of shit and killing lots of people, that's kind of bad, and holy shit, 83 kills. We could have gone more, but, well, we're out of ammo. So, yeah, that's a lot of XP all of a sudden, though not as much as you'd think, honestly. Lots of gun XP. 1 XP for the grenade launcher. 1. Okay. But that's an okay haul, where the inventory's filled, and I got all my shit back. But that was, as you saw, quite useless. After a while, you're just kind of pissing away ammo. Like, if weapon levels mean something more, like getting very high levels means that you're better with your weapon to the point where you have no recoil at all, like at level 99 or 100 or something like that, that might actually be worthwhile to grind that much, but as you saw, that was completely worthless. That was literally just for my own entertainment. And, well, at a certain point, you're just killing people because you like killing people. And unfortunately, though the game is very nice and I do like the game, the shooting isn't that fun. It's not actually all that enjoyable or visceral to shoot people dead in this game because everything is so rough about it. So it's like killing for sport isn't really all that big of a deal. But Sagas, thank you for resubscribing. Welcome back to the show. So killing for sport is just kind of a mindless pastime at the current time because the shooting isn't entertaining enough. It's like, it doesn't have like, you kind of have some elements of, the shooting being entertaining, but that sort of visceral haha hitbox noise, sort of like tiny walnut brain, like, whatchamacallit, neuron activation? I'm saying a lot of words, but you know what I mean, right? The haha, I'm doing damage and I'm killing people sort of thing. Like, haha, funny noise, violence, good. Yes, make more funny, ring the bell, like in War Thunder. Ring the funny bell. There's not a whole lot of that here. So it's not even, like, killing people isn't even really all that entertaining, just on killing people. The combat is serviceable, but it's not exactly enjoyable because there's a lot of clunkiness to the entire game. So killing for sport is basically just for entertainment at this point, and it isn't very entertaining. This game needed another 6 months in the oven at the minimum. I think it's functional, but it showcases that they're at a very, 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 very basic level at their design. Or basic point at their design. Apparently, up until recently, they were attempting to make... What was it? It was, Mech Trenches and Elephant Mausoleum were originally supposed to be one map. Which, that's comedic, but apparently the original spec for the game was to be actually open world, in which case, Enclave, Mesa, Mech Trenches, Elephant Mausoleum, the staircase map that's unreleased currently, and the inner city map were all supposed to be one fucking map, which, holy shit. But apparently we were not supposed to be doing the Tarkov thing up until recently. Just technical limitations forced them to actually, adopt the Tarkov map style. So, they have very grand visions for this game. It's just that right now it's currently barely fucking working. It works, it's just that it barely. But we made enough money. Unfortunately, now the Europans hate us entirely. They let the hype get to their heads and rush the release. Well, that's apparently what's happened, but but I'm thankful to have the game. Because I like what they're doing, and I want to play it. But the problem is that we only have a very basic gameplay loop, and it basically is, you've got to... For the game to continue on right now, you have to give it the college try. Like, it's not a terrible game, but it is an uncomfortable game and an unfinished game. Very, very clearly an unfinished game. So I'm sitting here, like, racking up resources for... at this point, I don't even know if there's going to be a wipe or not. So really, my material wealth right now doesn't mean anything. So there probably is going to be a wipe. There's probably going to be several wipes. But, so me collecting resources right now doesn't really mean anything. I'm just doing it for the exercise of haha loot goblin. Which this game does fairly well, but it is... The game's lacking a grander point and vision right now. Like, it's got it in the world building in spades, but for the gameplay in terms of your career being scav slumlord, it's lacking a purpose. Or rather, a growth. Every backer was demanding them release the early access, which, again, peer pressure, yes, but I'm glad to have the game because I do like the... I absolutely adore this game's world because it totally is something that I would have done if you given me enough time and money. So it's good to see I'm sharing brain cells with a lot of other people. What I would have done would have been different, but this I could totally take what this is, this game, file off the serial numbers and the name tags and make a Necronica campaign out of it. It wouldn't even be that hard and no one would actually notice unless you actually played this game. Which, that I'm entertained by. Inferno Plus is a madman. He's added a pirate ship to Cursed Halo 3. Oh dear lord. That man's still out there doing that. How's that going along, by the way? Do we actually have Cursed Halo 3 yet? Out of him, anyway. We already have Cursed Halo 2 and 3 out of someone else. But okay, so... Let's see, what was our haul here? I wanted to get more medkits, but, well, I guess we wasted enough fucking time. Like, I would love for there to be a point to having all of these foodstuffs and consumables, because they're useless to me. I would so much rather sell all of them and then use that money to buy more advanced first aid kits rather than hoard all of these cigarettes or, alcohol or food. I would like there to be, like, as the water system is, like, some kind of thing that I chip into for the survival of my innards, or my settlement. Though I do kind of like the idea of taking care of your innards, because haha, innards, base, body parts, haha. Yes, the E-nuggets that are, I think those are kind of like, I don't know what those are, but they're kind of just like vape, cartridges or something like that? I don't know what those are. You said your plans just as I thought it. Is he going to say turn it into a Necronica? Yep, there it is, the Necronica campaign again. It wouldn't even be that hard! That's the thing! Zumberge, thank you for, once again seeing the meme coming around again, but it wouldn't even be that hard. In fact, it'd be unoriginal. All I'd have to do is change things slightly. I mean, I've already kind of done the same thing, it's just that it's on a slightly different scale. We basically have two large power blocks, that are stuck in a forever war that has lost all context, and it's being mostly run by AI and zombies. Where have you heard this one? Oh, right, I wrote that. Kind of. This is far more grim and dark than I ever put together for ideas for Adjutant, but it's totally something I could have done if I just went all in. So I'm not saying, oh, well, I could have done this as sort of an insult. It's like, no, I was thinking in this direction, they went even farther, though. Which facet of your personality is this anime girl? I can give them quite a lot. You just need the ability to hijack some of the zombie tech, then you can be the necromancer of your dreams. Yes, I just need to steal a couple of things from the Eurasians and I can open up my own lab. Would it really be that odd? Would it really be that odd that there's some demented psycho out there that's, you know, just kind of hoovering up, you know, dead or near dying, you know, people and just kind of, well, shoving a bunch of cybernetic parts into them to just keep them going? People are already basically doing that, but so what if I want to make a cadre of cute anime girls that are also killer assassins? What if I wanted to make them wear maid dresses too? Surprise! Suddenly it's Bloodborne! It'd probably be an improvement. Yes, it'd brighten up the place. Right, okay, so 61 barrels of water, and that was, yeah, near about 100,000 just for that, which is, again, we could make money so much quicker. But okay, so what else do we want to do here? I mean, I suppose I want to kind of just look around, whatchamacallit, Mesa more, because I'm not exactly familiar with that map as well as I'd want to. Also, there's there's an Eclipse variant of that map that I have not seen yet, which is apparently terrifying. Right, so I think we're basically all well and good out of shotgun ammo now. Yeah, we're still gonna, well, it's actually only a minute. Right, only a minute. No, what we could probably do if we're going to Mesa is I could probably sit on top of a building and shoot at mechs because the mechs are actually terrible at targeting things above them. So hang on here. All right, so what we could probably do, I think the grenade launcher does more damage than the anti-tank rifle. I think. However, just to get the anti-tank rifle out of the way. Also, apparently the NTW-20 is just the anti-tank rifle, but worse. It does less damage, and it's also, got a bugged sight. You can't actually look down the scope. You jam your face into the lower receiver. Very work in progress. Okay, so we're gonna need, like, a lot. Actually, you know what I should do first is get my other rig back so I have more fucking space. I remember the game Total Annihilation was like that. AI versus clones. It's not a new idea. It's just lovely every time I see it. That's the thing. It's not terribly original. It's just that it's a fun place. I've seen this place a million goddamn times before, and I wouldn't be shocked if some of the inspirations for this game are actually similar to where I started with Necronica. That being Fortress. Does everybody remember Fortress? Now look at this game and tell me these people didn't watch that and go, Not the only idea, obviously, or rather the only inspiration, but definitely an inspiration, clearly. Right, that's probably only enough to kill, like, one mech, though. At least the heavy mechs. Okay, so, let's see here. What do we want to do? Because we have 1 billion rounds. I think we can... How much 308 do I have? Only 108. Oh, good lord, we need more 308. Okay, I guess we're bringing out the saw, then. Okay, so... Right, so, right, plastics, right. Boxes are kind of hard to read at a glance. That's 3 belts. Which I think that's enough. I think we should probably leave if I'm using that much ammunition. Large medkits, which, well, easy come, easy go. Did I see a modern Mauser broom handle? Yes, there is a broom handle in here with a pick rail underneath its barrel. I have had no reason to use it because pistols are terrible. I don't really understand why they're here. They're not good at anything. The weapon balance in this game is very clearly at a, it is not done yet. Oh, I can shove one more box into each barrel. Or into each area. Alright, so now we don't die with this much ammo. And actually, just to get on with it... Actually, I should probably just start buying... You know what? Since I have enough money, fuck it. I'm taking your entire stock. I don't need the 50 cal because I'm not really using it for anything, and the Scar is somewhat less effective than the other options for, like, endgame weapons, but I'm buying your entire stock. Also, this will actually help my relations with you. So after killing, like, 80 men, I'm helping. All right, see you later, stranger. Right, so that's all of that, and this is kind of what I got into the swing of doing because you kind of need to do this. The biggest bottleneck currently right now is medical supplies, and if there was a way to actually make medical supplies with commonly found items, that would actually be very nice. Because there is crafting, but it only works for, it's only one ammunition type, and it doesn't even work properly. Like the cryo rounds are supposed to stagger, they don't. So making them is entirely pointless. You pulled a Waterworld store scene and you bought everything. Yep, I'm in the big leagues now. I'm just buying... You see, this is what I actually want. I want to actually make my base into a very large hub for things. Because I've definitely got enough money to keep buying things from the traders and basically run them completely out of stock. The game's missing that kind of feeling currently. Like, there are upgrades, they just kind of stop being effectual after a while because they're not done yet. I'd like for there to be a survival ish mechanic. Like, people complain about the water system, but I would like that kind of system to whereas if I supply my base and the people in it are, happy and well fed enough, that I can get some sort of bonuses. Like, for example, maybe if I reach the end level of it, like, perhaps these people consider me a hero, and if I happen to drop dead once a day, they'll just retrieve my shit for free. That sort of thing. But I also would like to have a, some kind of economic war going on here, because what is war if not economy-based? What is this place if not an economy based on war? Now, do I think we need, like, a player-run stock market? That would be funny, but no. But I definitely want to... really what we do here is we are effectively traders, we just go out and get our shit. We are mission runners as well, but that's lacking a sort of grand endgame, I think. So there's a lot... The basic game is here, but the goal, the end goal, aside from just surviving, isn't here yet. But it is quite clear that you can do way more than survive, simply just survive this place. And I'm even looting out Bunko, even though he overcharges for literally fucking everything. So, you can do a lot here, but you very quickly run out of stuff to do, even though, if I had $1.6 million, I could do a lot right now. So, I could actually, I could conceivably do more than I am able to do in the game right now, but the game's not designed that well yet. It's not finished. So we don't have things like that. We don't have, like, power playing ammunition supplies or food or whatnot to other traders and things like that. Stuff that you maybe don't even have to leave your base base for if you're actually well set up enough. We should never fully leave the area where I'm playing the game. So this shouldn't be like a menu simulator, right? But there needs to be more here in terms of building an empire of sorts, because at the end of the day, we are. They're just not, they just won't allow me to buy a nice house, basically. Like, even sweep up the fucking place. Will I rebuild, civilization underneath the unending nightmare of a forever war? Probably not that grand, but it would be very interesting to do something like that. Maybe have my own mech army or something like that. Or, hey, maybe, being able to pay off, certain enemies on certain maps so they just don't bother me. Or guarantee that there's going to be a spawn there for, like, a European mech force that will just kind of walk around blowing the shit out of everything. Maybe not assuring victory and being very expensive, but assuring chaos that allows me to profit, or something like that. There's a lot of interesting things you can do with this, other than just being, like, bonehead simple and just say, here is a giant robot for $6 quadrillion. That would be rather silly, and it would probably play like ass anyway. Because you can't really loot anything, you just walk around blowing shit up. Which is, again, fun for sport, I suppose, but isn't really useful for anything else. Become Big Boss. Frankly, yes. Even if I don't really like the whole mother base mechanic being like the thing for every Metal Gear Solid game, something like that, yes. Building some form of empire out of what I am able to do. Should it be just... Should it basically just be I'm running MSF? Probably not, but it would be interesting to say have... Well, we do already have recruits, right? There is no fucking reason to use any of these. Like, even the Scav Mule sounds like an interesting idea, but the AI is so absolutely terrifyingly unreliable that you can't really bring them into a mission and trust that they'll even survive, let alone do anything valuable. 3, yes, has become every single Metal Gear, is what I said, Martin. Make fake intel which causes bosses to spawn? Something like that. Being able to goad or assure certain things happen on certain maps when you want them to, or the next time you go there. Like, maybe you could, force the enemies to be lighter, or maybe if I don't want the fucking, the Eurasian cyborg spawns, make sure that they're somehow not gonna spawn there for a while. Or maybe force them to spawn, if I want to, farm the graveyard variations of every map. But what I would actually like to be able to do as well is, well, shit, maybe something exactly like, Metal Gear Solid, like, hey, you fuckers work for me now. What are you going to do? I'm gonna send you on a mission that's gonna take like 15 minutes, and you're gonna bring back shit for me. Even you, crazy man. Why? Because I have money and I can do these things. Am I going to ever use these? No. No, I'm never going to use those. I just spent money because I felt like it. But it'd be nice to have a use for these rather than bringing them in as really terrible party members into a mission, right? So this is exactly what I mean about this game. We have the basic looter, shooter, extraction shooter formula, but there's nothing grand to do with it yet, aside from exploring the rather lovely scenery and lore about the game, which is fantastic. It's clearly the best thing about the game currently. But the gameplay lacks that same sort of grandiose vision of becoming, Warlord King of Lost Angels, or what's left of it. It makes sense that if we take jobs from the army, that we would be able to bribe people to change the enemy outload in a mission area. That too, or again, maybe cause them to just stop firing at us if we pay them off enough. However, the battles are so chaotic that the spawns are just everywhere, so there's no real way to guarantee that you're only gonna actually have European or Eurasian or Euruscan forces in a map. All three of them are there at the same time. So you could pay off one faction to stop one of them from bothering you, but it would probably take a lot to maybe being impossible to actually, get the other ones, because, they would actually know that you're in bed with this faction. Fuck you. We hate you. Right now, the trust system is rather basic and doesn't mean anything, more or less, aside from just unlocking, like, the reputation levels to unlock more stuff. But there's a groundwork for things that you could potentially do, but none of them are here. So really all we have is PvE Tarkov. That's really it. We could be way more than that, but that's all we have currently. That's kind of the unfortunate bit about the game being rushed into early access. But the thing is, well, we can always get to that if they're gonna improve. I hope they would. It looks like the game has a lot of work put into it. So, yeah, I just spent 200,000 credits on buying, personnel I'm never going to use and a bunch of ammunition just to have a giant stockpile of ammunition. I'd love it to mean something, but okay, so I want to go to Mesa and I want to look around. Right, okay. There definitely needs to be a whole lot more variance in things, and also how the enemies behave is somewhat irrational too, because a lot of I don't think there should be unkillable enemies in the game. Just like I don't think that there should be enemies that are just straight up passive to you no matter what. It's rather silly. But these are arguments to be had en route, I suppose. The game is in front of us, so I understand what it's trying to do, it's just that it's probably not doing them the right way in all aspects. And also, damn, I didn't want to spawn over here. I wanted to spawn over there. Damn, I should have checked where I spawned last. Damn, I wanted to spawn on the other side of the mesa. No, it's not the Eclipse variation yet. I haven't seen that one yet because I haven't been exploring it. Those are Eurasian drones. I have yet to die to a minefield, but I'm not trying to, tempt fate. Oh! Ow! That was higher than I thought. Oof. And now I do want to explore this map here because I was so, coming into the game, you're so fucking terrified you don't actually go exploring. But I have explored most of the military base over here. There's also one of those crashed land fortresses over there, or destroyed ones, that is a absolute teeming hive of cyborgs, which was rather funny to stumble into accidentally. Okay, they're down there. Who's killing who? It's probably well, we know who it is. There's only 3 parties. Okay, looks like Eurasian troops, or rather European troops, and the cyborgs. Probably some tanks shooting at each other over there. Let's just, pretend we're not here. I said pretend we're not here, but I guess that didn't really work out too well. Now, is that actually a mech? Not just wreckage. It's kind of hard to, define threats when the drones kind of sound like some of the backing track there. It's Dancing Fool, it sounds like you're running into some practical problems with your autocannon Death Fortress. It really is just the ammo. Eventually, after a while, you just kind of have a problem with you can't carry enough ammo to keep the thing firing. Okay, so what are we dealing with over here? I don't think we got any mech spawns over here, so I can't poke at one like I want to, but if we want to do that, we'll just go get another spawn. One thing I do want to look at, though, or go look at, is all the way over on the other side of the map, because these maps are actually really fucking large. Oh, hello, tank. Remember, those are actually passive unless you shoot at them, which is kind of humorous. I'm not involved in this. Right, so as I was saying, Elephant Mausoleum and Ashen Mesa are actually fucking enormous for how much space isn't really all that utilized. So I'm not quite sure what they're going at here, because it feels like those maps are too big for what they're trying to do, or rather the space in between them. Like what's in the space. Because they're wonderful to explore, but I feel like the game is too fast-paced for them to really matter. Oh. Okay, well there's an Exo over there. I don't really want to poke at that right at this minute. What I want to do is I want to go all the way over there, because there's an extraction over there, even though it's not in this variation of the map. I haven't actually explored that area over there. I don't really think there's anything terribly valuable over there, but I'd like to actually go look at it just so I know what the place looks like. Because that's kind of, at the end, once you understand the, the laws by which the AI, abides by, the game gets a whole lot less terrifying, and then you can actually look around. This is a wonderful place to explore, I just wish there was more shit in it. Though unfortunately, having a desolate wasteland implies that it is mostly desolate wasteland. So there's only so many things you can do with that. Right. I have no idea what this is, but it's some form of bridge. Actually. Some kind of... Looks like some form of train, I think, so that might have been what it was. I don't know what half of this shit is. And there isn't a lot of... There isn't a lot in the game actually telling you what anything is, what's actually happening, but it's very interesting once you actually, sit on the side and actually read about it. Because apparently, Los Angeles had at one point evolved into the city of Lost Angels, which was apparently a city that covered most of the continental United States. So, Mega City 1 from Judge Dredd, basically. But even larger, apparently. And that's, what this place is, or what's left of it. Mega City 2, technically, if it's on the West Coast. But as far as we understand, there was only one city like Los Angeles. So we're currently where we are is we're somewhere in the western United States. And hey, what the fuck, guys? Ah! No, you're supposed to be dead, cyborg zombies. Fucking scaring the shit out of me. See, I haven't really looked at this area, even though I know there's an extraction somewhere around here. I also suppose I could start looting this shit because I'm not really picking up anything else. We don't really go outside to stretch our fucking legs here. Oh, there's a lockbox. So we're somewhere in the Midwestern United States, probably somewhere around California. Or what was California at some point. What do you know? The horrifying, melted and nuclear wasteland that is California is filled with zombies. Whoa. Who would have seen that one coming? Though, quite frankly, they're utilitarian zombies at this point, since they're not actually, mindless hordes of the dead. They just act like it. They're just employed by this, because apparently the Eurasians thought, hey, that would actually be pretty useful. We've got lots of people that we don't really need and kind of have a wasting need to get rid of. What if we just kind of juice them up with cheap cybernetic parts and force them to run at machine guns? What if we made the zombie apocalypse our doctrine? As we can see, the end result of there is an endless spawn of zombies holding this fucking staircase. What's so tactically advantageous about this one staircase, I don't know, but I don't pretend to understand the ways of the AI. They are effectively gods at this point, who are just doing whatever. They play a game so grand and so totally beyond their own programming that I don't even think they understand what the fuck they're doing. So why not have the staircase be the most valuable position in this entire area? So what is going on over here? Because I didn't explore this area. It looks like there's actually more to. How much to this is there? Because I know there's a down area that leads basically just to an exit that isn't here, but it's there. Okay. Beat it, fucker. The neural uplinks are actually quite nice to have here. I don't really see those terribly often because I'm typically... Picture. Oh, they spawn... Those spawn over here too? Interesting. You need that for a quest. There was 2 of them in 1 container. Okay, so that's actually it. This is the only part of this area. So it's basically just, effectively a building with a couple of floors, more or less. Also, I didn't loot that. Well. So this appears to be basically it for this area. Aside from down there, but... Well, this is effectively the only thing to really do in the game. Explore the wonderful, wonderful architecture and landscape. And try not to horribly die in the process. Yep, I figured there were more of them. Yeah, so now we actually have to deal with the battalions on the lower staircase. Yes, the 2 or 3 zombie corpse companies that are holding the bottom of the staircase, which has been declared as the single most important strategic structure in this area because he who holds the staircase controls what goes up and down. He who controls the staircase is the master of the universe, says the AI, probably. Alright, so this is the exit area. So, okay, so that's it. This is the extraction point that isn't active here. I don't think there... I really don't think there should be, like, isolated extraction points, depending on map variations. Like, all the extraction points on the map should be there all of the time, so you remember which ones are there. Though granted, there's a little bit of depth, I suppose, with, picking a specific variation and knowing the specific exits and what they're looking like, but I feel like it's kind of odd that I can't just leave when I know I could. Here we go again. Once again, the fucking staircase. What is the Eurasian AI? What is his fascination with the staircase? I don't know. Maybe it's not the staircase itself, but the levels by which, it leads to. Maybe it's all of the floors the staircase leads to that it is trying to control. And it is determined that the staircase is the means by which you control all of those other areas, or can attempt to. Ah, yes. Very wise. Also, what the fuck was shooting at me over there? It would appear that that is about it. My God, they've taken the staircase again. Oh well. I don't know what the fuck was shooting at me, but something tells me that probably wasn't for me anyway. That was probably just some random shot across the, this bottomless abyss that, as we can see, had buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings. Which, granted, I know this is supposed to be a megacity of sorts, but... One of those, how the hell did this even look and function when it wasn't a nuclear hellscape? And then again, well, if you're building a megacity, you're building a megacity, and hi! Very cool spawns, video game. Thankfully, they weren't aggroed. However, there are 2 drones now next to each other of opposing factions. Mom, the robots are fighting the endless war again. Mom! The machines are fighting a war without context again! Man, are we sure this isn't the Eclipse variation? Because apparently the Eclipse variation of the map is the one overrun by zombies, but looking at things, I don't think we're actually suffering for Eurasian cyborgs anywhere here. I think we got quite a lot of them. Oh, you know, I did want to actually have to take another look in this area, but this area is a nightmare. The toaster killed the radio again. It's committed murder. So, if you notice, there's another land fortress over here. The problem is it's also filled with zombies last time I checked. But maybe it's not this time. Maybe it's just a one-off occurrence. Maybe they don't. Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do. Yep. Look, it's more fucking zombies! Though that's somewhat insulting and demeaning. They're still perfectly conscious in there, they just can't fucking do anything. Which is the real Jesus Christ how horrifying of the situation. Oh dear God, they're coming for the staircase again. What is it with you guys and staircases? Oh. You can melee, by the way, it's middle mouse. You can also apparently get executions, but they're completely worthless. And oh, well look! It's not just filled with zombies today, there are also Europans in here! This is about where the tactical camera would come in handy. Oh, well, they're all dead. Silly me, though, more spawned. All right, so what else do we got here? We got lots of water, probably explosives here. This is where... Ah! You know, video game, just because I can't see over there doesn't mean I can't see you spawning in enemies. Yep, time to leave. Very much time to leave the zombie jump scare house. Good day. So what did I learn? It's always filled with zombies. I don't think there's anything up here of value, though, which is kind of unfortunate. Also, I hear a mech somewhere. But where? Oh. Oh, well, there's a whole... Interesting. I didn't know that there was another area down here. Maybe not the best place to start a fight. You know, with the whole, there isn't any cover. Whoop, wrong button. Also, there's a hitbox blocking my shots down there. There's the corner of the building is blocking my shots, even though I can totally see them. Oh, now he can hit me. Uh-oh, stuck on door. Door stuck! As you can see, the anti-tank rifle is actually quite terrible. How do you do the point fire thing? Alt. So if you're aiming down sights and you hit Alt, you go into the over-the-shoulder view. One thing that's also a mystifying sort of occurrence is this game's, hotkeys. Okay, so where the fuck did he go? Oh, I'd rather not fall to my death there. That would be bad. Finally! As you can see, the 40mm grenades are incredibly overpowered because it takes like 7 to do that. That took like 3 magazines. Okay, so what the fuck's down here? Because I've never actually been down here. Okay, we know about the fire and how it can blind me, so I'm gonna attempt to avoid doing that, but it looks like all the loot boxes are in the fire. No, that's not it, actually. I think it dropped something. It might have fallen off the side of the entire building, though. I don't see any other loot boxes, so I suppose it was claimed by the zone. Is there anything actually going on down here aside from slag and melted debris? The enemy is apparently still alerted to my presence somehow over there. I give them like 5 minutes. They'll probably despawn though. Oh, hey! It didn't fall off the building. It just landed all the fucking way down here. Actually, a bunch of them did. Interesting. Good. Those are really not as valuable as you'd think they are for killing an exo, but, well, trophies. Unfortunately, I can't capture a bunch of exo pilots and make a harem. Not yet, anyway. But that would be too easy. No, that's not me. No, I have grander visions. No, I'm going to make the cyborg robot harem, and I'm going to make them wear maid dresses. And it's going to look very jarring and very somewhat unnatural and surreal, but that's the whole fucking point. Also, the fire on the exo should probably go out at some point. No, I think what I can do. Nope, still not close enough. Nope.
Taking fire.
Okay. I didn't go blind this time. Wonderful. The fire should eventually go out for the exos, though I do understand the whole burning exo wreckage in, a bonfire as a very cool visual thing. However, I don't think there is enough fuel in that to be burning that long. So will you have maids with pew-pew cannons under their maid dresses? I mean, probably. There's probably some cross between Sangus Fairy and Roberta. Or at least a handful of them. Now, can I get the hell back up here? Yes, kinda, sorta, maybe. This might be a problem. This is an area of all time? Okay, now I gotta find a way out of here. Okay, I'm gonna, maybe there's another exit on the other side, maybe over there? Like some other way to hop up the side and get out of here, maybe? Because I don't think I'm getting out that way. Ah, yes. Okay, well, there's enemies here, which means there definitely is a path here. More to explore. It's an exo squad. Actually, it's 3 exos standing on top of each other. Yeah, that's the game being silly again. Finesse, not this early in development. No, no finesse. Absolutely none whatsoever. Yeah, they were all standing on top of each other. That's actually, I killed 2 of them at once. All right, I suppose that makes it time to leave, then. That'd be it.
Watch those corners.
More HKs.
They might be flanked.
There's another one down there. Again, hitboxes, because most of those shots are being blocked by this wreckage. Okay, there's a lot of them over here. I guess there were like 6 of them here. Maybe two squads showed up here and it's gonna get stuck. That's probably why I can see them all now. They just got stuck around here and couldn't pathfind over to that area. What are you looking at? Yep, that's enough loot. Time to go. I don't think this side of the map had any real, value to it, but oh well, I now know what it looks like. That's somewhat of an accomplishment, going places and then coming back alive.
We got count.
That's another HK.
Push them back.
Should be able to oh well, maybe not. Boy, this is gonna be interesting. I have to run through all of that. My extraction is somewhere behind that burning tank over there. Thankfully, the T-90 doesn't know what the fuck is going on if I don't shoot it. He can, however, run me over, which is very bad. Looks like we're fine, though. Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah, mech that mech probably despawned, but they spawned another mech over here. I'm just gonna go around. I'll come hunt you for sport when you actually drop something of value. Bye.
Easy day.
Okay then. I got 55 kills. That was more experience than 80 kills. That was interesting. I guess that must have been the mech kills. That must have been it. Well, a mech kill. Interesting time, and well, a full pack mule of supplies. So that's always a good thing. So it is enjoyable to explore the area and look around and admire the atmosphere. But there's just not a whole lot to do in it right now. And at some point, we're just gaining up money for the sake of gaining money. Not that we can really do anything valuable with it. You mainly get XP based on loot, not kills, I think. Oh, well, that would mean that the exo loot is worth more XP? Because, well, there's a bunch of... The only major difference there was the exo parts. Got a couple of HK bits. Granted, we did kill, like, 6 HKs in a corner there. Everyone hates us, but that's okay. I can fix that real goddamn quick. Here's like 50 bottles of alcohol. Shut up. All right, and now we get to all the large junk items, which is where the real money is. Though, as you can see, if you get a ton of alcohol, it's worth a lot of money on its own if you get a lot of it. Which is usually what drops out of the cyborgs. Why they have so much fucking alcohol, I have no idea. Nor do I know if they have a liquor license at all, because it clearly looks like they're trying to open a bar somewhere. Actually, you know what I should do? Right, since you're trusted, you're fine. Let's go to Aramaki and sell all of those to get back the standing here. Here, Aramaki, I heard that the Eurasians are somewhat, lacking for cyborg components in this forever war, so here's some. Don't ask where I got them, though. This is effectively selling people their own mail at this point, but, well, the machine goes. See, these aren't even all that valuable. It's nice, but they're not really all that valuable at all. Like, the 2 neuro uplinks kind of just almost nearly met that. And you can get those way easier. These are for a quest that I've already done. HK parts. Yes, more fingers, teeth, and skulls. Those I expect to be high-end crafting components at some point. I don't know what for, but I feel like there's gonna be something in this game that you have to farm HKs, to actually get. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be something. And it looks like, hell, if we keep this up here, I'm gonna wind up with a net profit over spending all of the ammunition that spending all of the money I spent on, ammunition before the mission. I think we're about where I was before I spent all of that money. And that's good enough. But unfortunately, we got another 15 minutes before we can buy more ammunition out of the vendors. Very sad, but this is kind of how things go. However, we can buy more large medkits. Very nice. I'm somewhat wasteful with these, I know, but just... You need to buy a lot of these. Like... Heisenberg is actually in a way, the biggest bottleneck in the entire game. Unless you do a lot of stealth runs and you don't get shot and you just, grab medical supplies all the time. Might as well buy these even though I'm not really holding onto them terribly tight. See, well, Bunko the bastard actually is resupplied, but he doesn't sell very much and he overprices everything. I utilized a handful of 20mm AP, so that was probably enough to actually recuperate all the shots here, but I did spend I want to say 400 or 500 rounds of 5.56, so that definitely needs to be restocked. Or that could use restock, I still have over 2,000. Right. Okay. So that brings us down. I'm still above where I started the mission at, which is funny. And actually, you still got 15 minutes on buying more MSF soldiers, even though I don't know why we have support AI. Really, I don't. But I went on that ramble before. The AI is so bad in this game currently that you can't really rely on them to do anything, and they might even make the situation worse if you drag them into the wrong scenario. I would like to be able to buy them to, do stuff off screen with them. It wouldn't have to be much. The most basic thing I can think of is, Cancali-esque expeditions, or, again, MSF, in Metal Gear Solid. That would be the simplest thing. I'd like it to be something other than that, but that would be the simplest thing that I could think of and, off the top of my head for something to do with them. But so, hey, we can prestige again. Which, I mean, I suppose what we should do is we should start actually playing Old Man, but we'll probably die horribly a lot, but we do need to know. Because Old Man might secretly be meta. So, there is your 1 billion XP, Bagman. Right, so, Old Man can't use certain things, but I've got tons of weapons, so it really don't matter. So we need to actually, we need to see about him. He also can't use Actually, he can use the pack mule. You have to research it, though, which is quite expensive. And that heavy container rig might actually be worthwhile, and I could just buy that right now, but I still have to get lots of XP to use that. What I'm really interested to see is what happens with the medical expert. Because does this increase the heal per tick, as well as the maximum amount, which means that it could, we could actually make the other medkits better than just the regular medkits. So he could secretly be a good choice, I think. It's definitely, has something going for them aside from Scav Girl and Mask Man, who are kind of useless after like 5 minutes. Okay, so what I can use the equipment. No, I can't use that. No, I can't use any of these, actually. Wow, that's disappointing. So right, I could use the standard gun runner, which is, right, fully upgraded. So that'd work, even though that's quite a step down there. Somehow he can use the anti-tank, or the heavier assault. Actually, does he come trained with that? Actually, yes, he comes standard with heavy rifles. That's funny. Most people have to research that. Well, really, at the end of the day, the easiest thing here is to just pull out a USAS, but we only have 300 rounds. We're not going to be carrying that much ammo, though. The anti-tank is, I mean, good to have in a pinch, but I don't think I'm really going to be using it because I probably can't really carry all that much ammo for it. Yeah, I can only carry 60 rounds, and now I'm full. I can't even put any medkits in there. So you can't even really use, I mean, the grenade launcher would probably be better, but he can't use that. Though, actually, but hang on here. What I do need to actually check here is, actually, well, in that case, what we'll use the NTW-20 then, because that uses 50 cal and that ammo is lighter. So it's about half the weight. So this is a little more interesting, but the problem is that this is just for my own entertainment at the end of the day. Like, there's no reason to kind of fit yourself into this strange box to use these characters, I don't think. And this is only for temporary, I suppose, unless you actually have the skills to, have him leveled up. But okay, so I don't really want to lose all of these advanced first aid kits, but I think we'll probably be fine with this one, so long as we're not doing anything terribly stupid. Alright, so let's go over here. I still want to see that Eclipse variation. It'd probably be a nightmare to get out of, though. Nope, still no equips.
Keep an eye out, guys.
Alright, so we have 900? I think Bagman's HP right now, as I have him, is 940? Or, like, 1940? So I have nearly 1,000 less XP. All of these drones! Man, that's a lot of fucking drones. Though I will concede that the one thing Bagman doesn't really have is this sprint speed, and that is probably more useful than, just the raw health. Sounds like the fighting's starting. Oh. I don't remember how much that's worth, but I know that's probably worth at least like 5-10K. Oh, okay, it's the tank battalion. And the flying T-90s down there. That might actually be some pretty good loot there. The only problem is we have to get around those mechs.
Worth the extra weight.
Oh, interesting. More neural links. Which aren't the chips, it's the radio sets. Again, I don't know, those are probably worth a lot. I don't know how much though. Need some mathematical supplies. Okay, let's have a gander here and see how bad this area is. Pretty fucking terrible. So, the mechs will obviously not die, but there is loot down there. The problem is, though, when the mechs don't have targets, they become inordinately more dangerous. Those are Merkavas, though, and they do look like they are attempting to engage each other. So those are your Ruskin mechs, or Eurasian mechs? What are they? Yeah, Ruskins, right. Ruskins are allied with the Eurasians, so that's side B. Side A is the Merkavas, which is being sent into orbit. Expected of mech combat with tanks, honestly. All sides suck. All sides are basically terrible in their own ways. I think Eurasia is doing a little bit better than Europa currently, but generally speaking, they're all stuck in a forever war because, there isn't really a reason to stop. That's kind of the only reason the entire war is going on from my perspective on the matter. There's no reason to really stop. Scarecrow is the fastest scab, I believe. What do you mean Scarecrow? You mean Shaman? The girl. The girl. Which I guess supposed to be expected, but hey. Alright, well, if they're done doing all the fucking killing, maybe I can actually get in here and grab a couple of things. I said I wasn't gonna do anything stupid and dangerous, and then I went doing something stupid and dangerous. The mechs, however, won't target me so long as there's actual things to target around them. No room. What do you mean, no room?
Fighting is too heavy. Let's keep low.
Yeah, see, that's a Merkava, and that's a mech, and we're gonna leave here and let nature take its course. Oh boy. So if I wanted to actually ream the benefits of the tank graveyard down there, it looks like I needed more inventory space. For some reason I envision a game like New World, but instead of the conquistadors and settlers finding the fantasy Americas, they show up to this 20 years after everything and everyone simply collapsed. Yeah, somehow over in the corner, human civilization collapsed, and then suddenly it came back as, the Spanish Empire. Out of nowhere. Looks like I'm already full, though. That's a little annoying. I wanted more stuff, but then again, I probably should have been playing another character here. The problem is, though, I have to actually get into engagements in order to actually find more, get more XP. Yeah, I ain't got room for anything. So I suppose we'll get into a firefight here just for the sake of it. Chopper. I mean, I could probably shoot that down from here. Pissing it off would probably be a terrible idea, though. I haven't shot one down before yet, though. Yep, still having fun down there, apparently. Now, as far as I know, the rockets also don't instant kill you. They're just kind of... Oh, right. Right, yeah, right. Work in progress, please understand. I have to actually hip fire this. I apparently didn't piss anyone off with that. I think I'm gonna have to find higher ground, though. Or better ground, as it were. Oh no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh, ow, son of a bitch. Yep, instantly dead. Oops. Well, I said I was going to be fine so long as I didn't do anything amazingly stupid, and that was something amazingly stupid. I didn't think it was going to take that long to kill, but, well, yes, he's very durable. Well, that's what I get for poking at random things, but I have to find out anyway. But, oh well, minor problem. You see, this is kind of the problem here with this, because there is a lot to... A lot of this is just silly, but a lot of this game is hamstringing yourself for really no reason other than maybe it might be useful at the end of the day, which is kind of what we were attempting to do there, until I died horribly. What are your specs on your PC? I have been checking this game out, and I'm not sure if I can run it consistently. It runs very poor on basically everybody's system, so be prepared for that one. Unless you have like a 4090 and I have an amazing PC currently, it runs like shit for everyone. And even it runs for some people with actually great systems. But I have a GTX 1080 and an i7 I forget the mark of, and 32 gigabytes of RAM. So this system is no slouch, but only I can only play at a stable frame rate on low. So the game kind of runs shit for everybody. But oh well. See, the problem here is, like, I could keep doing that. However, what did that really get me? Though I could probably do a way easier, I could just go back and exploit the time spawn in Scrapyard Nexus in order to do that way easier than just trying to do that. But let's go get our shit back. I only have one NTW-20. It's not exactly that good, but I quite like that. All right, okay. Let me go get my shit back now. So yeah, honestly, I would prepare for anyone to have this maybe run like shit. No matter what your system is. It just does. Do you play with a controller or only a mouse and keyboard? I'm pretty sure... I haven't tried controller, I don't think it works. I wouldn't really trust a controller either. Since the actual the shooting and gameplay is actually incredibly rough, and yeah, there went all my medkits. See, that's how I lose most of my medkits, when I fuck up and die, and they're not good enough. That's why Heisenberg is such a fucking bottleneck, because I keep losing all my medkits when I drop dead. Yeah, let's just give me all of those. We're not gonna do anything tremendously stupid, I promise. You see, I take the tactical camera, but I had the game crash on me with the tactical camera one, so I don't really trust that. It's somewhat useful, though. Yeah, that should be enough ammo for that one. Do I have... well, I can't use the grenade launcher right now because I haven't got enough XP. I guess the saw would be fine. Though I should probably balance that out because I want to start... How much money do I have? Or how much 5.56? It takes 600 rounds. Two belts. Hey, wait a minute. That's not the right saw. That isn't my... That's not... Actually, it is. What the hell? I thought I had 3... Huh, no, it is. What the... What? Okay, now it's right. Interesting. Because I know I had the 300 round magazine for that one, but for some reason the game said no you didn't for a split second there. Alright, time to go get my shit back. I was told that the helicopters are very dangerous, and now I see very clearly, yes, they are. I'm probably going to want to engage that with a grenade launcher rather than the anti-tank rifle, because honestly, the anti-tank rifle is not all it's cracked up to be. That was just the NTW-20, but the anti-tank rifle only does slightly more damage. And it really does feel like the grenade launcher eclipses all of them. Like, it says the grenade launcher does 1,000 damage and the anti-tank rifle does 1,000 damage, but I feel like the grenade launchers does way more damage. I don't know why, probably because the explosions maybe circumvent armor or something like that, but it definitely feels like the grenade launcher is the ultimate go fuck yourself weapon. It's somewhat haphazard to use against tanks though, because it makes them fly around. I mean, that's good for getting rid of the tank, but not killing it. the war is starting down there, and well, at least I'll get to see what the prices of these neural uplinks actually are. You know, when I make it out alive this time, wink, wink.
It's never enough.
All right, who's fighting today? It's the same. It's the same shitters from yesterday. I haven't seen Euruscan mechs actually really do very much lately. It's mostly the European mechs. Where's the loot, guys? Oh, there we go. Interesting. I looted nothing! And then I suddenly was able to loot. Alright, where the hell's my corpse? There it is. Well, it's actually mostly tanks shooting at each other, but it's mostly the Euruscans. Okay, so... Awesome kickflip, bro. Well, I could get down there, because I don't think the mechs are going to come anywhere near this area, but then again, we could have more spawns. I could try and scoop up some of those, now that I have the space, but that depends on what the mechs are going to do. If the mechs behave. Because I have to go down there anyway, but I could just circumvent that whole area. However, time is a-wasting, and those loot spawns are not going to be there all day. And yeah, let's not have with the explosives. I think I'm a danger to myself already. Well, there's only one way to get more loot. I would hope that the tanks would actually kill some of those guys, but usually they don't do that at all. Tanks versus Exos is laughably one-sided for the Exos. Oh. And then they aggro. For no reason. Alright, then fine, y'all die. Violence has been chosen. Hoover up all the supplies from these guys before we go down into the pit of terrible ideas. Okay, so there's still... Yeah, that's very bad, actually. I don't want to go anywhere near that guy because now the mech doesn't have any targets. Alright, no, as long as he keeps going that way, we're fine. Remember, the mechs don't care about you. Good, they're all the way over there. Fantastic. The mechs don't care about you so long as you don't actually get near them when they don't have anyone left to shoot at. However, those are your Ruskin troops, and those are kind of chunky. I don't really want to get into a firefight in this area. As long as the mechs are shooting at something, we should be okay. But it does look like most of the loot boxes are disappearing now, which is very bad. Yo, don't mind me just running directly into a tank fight just to steal shit from the burning fucking vehicles. Totally sane and safe actions. This game's setting up plausible sci-fi, like it's between 100 years and this is Russia still trying to invade Ukraine? Not necessarily. It is still set in a plausible timeline. But more or less what happened was, the world has basically joined together in one of three power blocks. Europa, which is effectively the United States, Canada, and Europe, or Western Europe. Eurasia, which is basically China and basically everybody else. And then Eurusca, which is some of Russia and also bits of Africa, somehow. Don't ask me, I'm not a diplomat. So basically, the problem was, for all of these nations, was overpopulation and lack of resources. And eventually this caused a war. But the problem is, in basically the near opening hours of the war, they just kind of spewed nukes at each other haphazardly. Both governments were, well, all major governments were taken out, but the war is still ongoing, and it's being handled by, effectively, AI telling people what to do. So the AI understands some of the initial goals of the initial governments, but is also actively reinterpreting them. About the only thing the European and Eurasian, the European AI knows for this scenario is retake West. So the European AI just kind of has the goal of retake California from the invaders, and that's it. I don't really understand what the Eurasian AI is doing other than just get resources or something. I don't really know. How the fuck did the other two not obliterate the Ruskies with that kind of border? Eruska and Eurasia are apparently allied. Europa is bigger than either two, but apparently Eurasia and Europa are effectively one state. Or rather, closely allied enough that they basically are. And there's that man go. He's getting sick air over there. Does praying at the shrine have an insanely small chance that it gives you a blessing of some sort? I don't know. I don't know what praying to the Mech God does. I haven't done it in a while, though. Maybe that's why I'm having such bad luck. I don't know if it does anything, but it's probably placebo. We've always been at war with Eurasia. Reminder that Europa actually consists of Western Europe, so Airstrip 1 is probably England. That's probably not even a joke, actually, what the place looks like now. But the problem here is that both sides were suffering from overpopulation and depletion of resources, and this is why the war started, but the situation that we have right now is that there isn't enough of a reason to stop, which is why this shit keeps going. Both sides are at the breaking point of being able to sustain themselves even without their, major governments intact. So they're still operating as societies somehow, but both sides are in such desperate need of resources, it's either kill the other guy or die. As for what we know currently about the lore, apparently who did what first, who invaded who, and who fired the first nukes is unknown, and also probably going to be unknown forever. It's meant to be, vague. We probably will never know what happened specifically on who fired at who first, but the war happened. Also, evidently another interesting side effect of the war is something called the Kessler syndrome, which is, well, understandable, yet kind of tragic. You see, during the initial nuclear barrage, they destroyed all of the satellites. However, now there's so much debris in space, there's so much junk flying around, that it's actually impossible for us to actually launch more satellites or do anything in space. So basically, the moment you leave the atmosphere, you are instantaneously bombarded by micro debris and instantly die. So, we're also stuck here, by the way. So, leaving Earth for space? Yeah, no. Also, those are the somewhat sane cyborg troopers down there. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to shoot a couple of people in order to get out of here. Oh, that's a lot more than I expected. Does reputation affect the aggro? Not that I know of. I do not know if it does, and it does not appear to. Oh, good lord, we summoned the staircase battalions again. It's just that this time I actually have to leave this way, and I guess I'm getting all that loot that I was expecting. Well, I'm definitely walking away with a lot of loot now. So, yeah, so I don't know if it does, and it does not appear to affect how the AI looks at you or responds to you or, how quick to anger. I don't know. It doesn't appear so. Yeah, so those are the medium cyborgs that are somewhat more sentient, or the cyborg infantry that are somewhat more, not just hordes of zombies. They have P90s. They're kind of bad. Some of them do actually. I've actually seen some of them with US AS-12s though. Those guys are fucking dangerous. Those guys will two-hit you if you aren't paying attention. Actually, what am I doing? I have to go... Well, actually, I have to get the loot from up here, now that we know. I've reconned this area. I now know there's loot up here. Might as well go check. What's the threshold to spawn HK squads? I don't particularly know, but killing a single exo will get them to spawn immediately. And also, I think somewhere around 4 large items in a backpack, which you can only carry with the rack backpack, more or less. So if you start filling... There is a specific amount of loot that, loot taken or held that gets them to spawn. And killing an exo gets them to spawn immediately. I'm not sure of the exact thresholds for any, like, the exact times, but typically when I'm on a normal mission and I'm not doing anything terribly dangerous, it takes them like 20 minutes or like 10 minutes or something like that to show up. But that's just with natural progression. I'm not really concentrating on anything. But I have gotten them to immediately spawn by using the rack at all, which is somewhat unfortunate. So picking up too many large items will get them to spawn, and as you've seen on the stream, shooting an exo will get them immediately spawning then and there, or rather killing the exo. Shooting it doesn't do anything. Killing one exo basically causes them to say, all right, what the fuck's going on here? Hyperdeath, that's somewhat more brainy, but... From what I understand, it is quite literally, there are no satellites left. There's just so much junk around the Earth that we can no longer do anything in lower orbit space, or, like, ever hope to leave the planet anytime soon. Which means that we're fucked. In the long game, we're dead. We're gonna basically sit here until we run out of resources entirely, and that's it for the human race. So far now, we're kind of okay because we can kind of, well, there's lots of civilization to collapse. Don't you know? We're gonna have massive die-off of the human population, but until that actually happens, there's still a lot of resources lying around. I mean, you know, we did have effectively 2 country, continent spanning, empires, effectively, or continent spanning cities. Do the HKs go after you specifically, or do we have to go after any high value target? You specifically, and the moment they spawn on the map, they know exactly where you are. They still need to visually acquire you, but as soon as they have line of sight on you, they will immediately open fire. The player is doing too good. We must kill them now. So the HKs are basically just punishments, more or less. But as you saw, they're actually kind of easy to gain. I didn't need that many medkits, but oh well. I got all my shit back, and I got a fair amount of loot to compensate for it. But the League and AC4 were stuck on a dying Earth and couldn't leave. That's basically the same situation, but it's not like we have automated defenses that we don't know how to control anymore that are up there. No, it's just that micro debris is a bitch. Gunhead. I'm not sure what Gunhead's gonna be like, but it'd be interesting to have a third gun. Just launch giant magnets into space. Well, Sagasu, we will. Just as soon as we're busy, we're done killing each other. Just as soon as we're not busy with this whole forever war thing that literally no one has control over anymore. Like, the people on the ground are literally just following orders that are given to them because they're following orders. Like, this is the more interesting thing, the thing I might want to steal. So, as I said before early in the stream, the militaries of both sides are being run by what they call task-based AI, which is effectively they're just AI programs that are playing tic-tac-toe with each other. They're just giving people orders and giving them, supplies for completing the orders. And the people on the ground, having no idea what the fuck is going on anymore, are just following these orders that they can receive from these AI, these master AI. So it's almost like a religion, basically, at this point, where the troops on the ground are following the Prophet's orders, and the Prophet's orders are take Hill 134 to get food. There's also basically a religion based around worshiping, the mechs and the mech pilots as basically knight errants, because we've degraded to that. They're the Patriots. Well, they're in charge. They're effectively somewhat akin to the Patriots, but probably not as intelligent. They're basically just... They're playing chess with each other on, in a situation where there may not be any real reason to do that anymore. And apparently there are rogue AI out there just doing completely irrational, insane shit as well. We haven't seen them, but apparently there's somewhat of a side gig for hunting them. I mean, this is basically just AC5 verdict day, but you're not the main guy of either, and we're more fucked. Yeah, basically. By the way, as I have been reminded, I haven't actually prayed at the shrine of the mech god, and may he deliver us from this hellscape, or rather, deliver us just supplies today. Yet still, the Allied master computer has no further orders for us. We are to hold position until relieved. Pray to the Omnissiah. It's basically that with a lot less trappings to it. But frankly, it is kind of interesting how they've effectively become religions based around AI that is just giving them resources. The AI has control of the resources, and it's making people do what it wants by giving them resources kind of piecemeal. That's something I might want to take and experiment with. It's a very interesting idea, because you could effectively make a bunch of disorganized roving bands of armies that are all listening to separate AI, and maybe even AI on the same side that are actually acting against each other because you're using too many resources. This unit has too many men under its command. It's using too many resources. Kill some of them. Speaking of which, I have to actually go look at the donation box as well for more resources here. Did we get anything? No, I think I might have gotten some more, because I think some of the weapons get spit out into your. Yeah, actually, no. I have more of revolvers. I have 3 revolvers. That's what I got. They're completely terrible, worthless, but they're there. Right, so that's what I got here. I got 3 fucking revolvers. Here you go. So basically, if Whopper and War Games didn't play tic-tac-toe with itself. Effectively, yeah. So if you have that sort of same situation where an incredibly simple AI is just kind of doing what it was told, but everybody in the war room is basically dead by this point, so as far as I understand it. I don't quite understand how the 2 nations, or 3 nations at this point, are still operating without their major governments to direct anything, but I guess that AI systems were so ingrained and nobody's really checking at this point. Because as we have been told, the governments of these nations were all effectively wiped out within the first month of the war starting. The question is though, how are these nations still together? How have they not fractured apart in several decades of war? Is it just because it's more convenient to stay in this air quotes nation that we belong to? Or is there actual some form of government that keeps everything together? I'm not quite sure how the behind the lines politics actually functions. Only that Europa is probably just as shit as you imagine it is. And Eurasia is apparently a dystopian cyberpunk nightmare because well, look at what they're doing. They're rounding up poor people and making them cyborg zombies. Ah, yes, managed democracy reigns supreme. It could be that the AIs that are ingrained into these government structures are just listened to without question at this point, or no one's smart enough to actually answer. No one remembers when the fuck the war started at this point. This may have been going on for 50 years at this point. We don't actually know. We've only heard, the only figure I've heard thrown around is decades. No one really knows what's going on, and we have no satellite communication, so the world is a very isolated place as well. So, there may be people on the Earth currently that have no idea that California has ceased to exist. And, they may just be going under the assumption that the AI continues giving us orders, so there must be someone giving the AI orders, right? that's above my pay grade to ask, I guess. I'm not quite sure, and it's very weird, but it's basically a system that is set on automatic, and like I said, the war has no reason to stop, because these two countries need to destroy each other, because that's the only way they're getting resources to survive. So, is this gonna end in any way well for any of them? No. But effectively what's going to happen is humanity is going to be reduced to a fragmented state of, fragmented level of what it is now, and we're either gonna have some way of inventing resources out of nowhere, perpetual motion, I suppose, is something we need to discover really fucking quick, or the human civilizations that remain after, this war is effectively done with and over with, given a couple hundred years, I suppose, they're just gonna sit there slowly dying because nobody has any food. It's been 100 decades. We don't know. The thing is, we don't know, and, well, there really isn't any way for us to find out either. Or at least us. It's because they listen to the Nothing Ever Happens posters. Yeah, unfortunately, no one has seen the Nothing Ever Happens poster since they lost that bet on the whole nuclear war thing. Because there were people saying like, we're never going to go to war, that's silly, there's no real reason, it'd be too costly. Who in their right mind would— nuclear explosion in the background? Who would dare do something so stupid like that? And everyone's dead. But of course, you actually have to have people be stupid and do senseless things in order to make a story like this. Because if everyone just did the smart thing, we wouldn't have wonderful situations like this. Wonderful by horrifying, I mean, but still wonderful because it's a wonderful place to play. It's a nice sandbox. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, I have to unload literally everything. I bet there are people that deny there is a war. I also, I noted that there was nothing about South America either, so I don't know what the fuck's going on over there from what I've heard. So, there very may well be people on the Earth that have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on right now and never got the memo there was a war. I don't really know, and it's probably gonna take a long time for us to figure out, even if the game wants to tell us, because we have no means of getting, long-range communication aside from radios, and that's about it, apparently. Apparently that's all we've got, more or less. Radios and, hardline connections. So there's probably a way to gather intel and figure out what the fuck is going on out there, but a lot of it is just gonna be hearsay by, random civilians and survivors. That may not even be true. All of South America was dragged to Brazil. Non-zero chance. So it's a very interesting world that I want to actually sit and play in, play in more and learn more about, but I also kind of wanted to just kind of sit here and look at the imagery and come up with my own ideas. I have a couple, but I'm definitely stealing that idea, that interesting idea that we can actually reduce a military force to such a level of headlessness that they will begin effectively listening to an AI program, giving them orders as if the AI is fucking Jesus, and they will just roam around doing whatever the AI decides needs to be doing, whether it makes sense to or not, whether it's impactful or not. The scales are so fucked that the AI can't really it's doing things because it has to, not because they make sense or they're effectual. Will holding this one hill change the tide of this war? Probably not, but, well, the AI's not gonna sit there doing absolutely nothing. I bet Australia's just thriving and ask, what the fuck, mate? Well, what you going? Australia's probably had its on the beach moment, where it's just like, wow, they got into a nuclear war, and now we're not at a poisonous level of nuclear, radiation, so they're probably still alive down there. What they're doing, I have no idea. Right, so that's all the large items I think in my inventory. Good, time to restock. I think, yep, okay, we can buy more ammo. Very nice. But you see, this side of the game I'd actually like to, enjoy more. but there's really not a whole lot to do here aside from hoover up money for the sake of hoovering up money. I'd like for there to be something larger. Like, hell, maybe, like, I could slowly piece together what the fuck is actually happening in the wider world by paying off informants. Like, I'd probably actually have to, you know, gather information from, you know, quest givers and whatnot. But maybe with enough money, I could figure out what the fuck's going on. Or most of it. There's a lot of interesting things you could potentially do, but it just comes down to what the developers want us to be doing, more or less. Because I could definitely bankroll myself to such a degree that I could just become the slumlord, whether or not the game wants to acknowledge I exist or not. And that's kind of the problem right now. I am absolutely loaded right now, and the game really has no way of acknowledging or responding to that. There's nothing for me to do. Nothing changes because there's no design there yet. I hope that changes, because if I want to have a, you know, I do like looting simulators. I'm a resource harvester by, you know, trade in any game that I am actually playing by myself. You don't really see that side of me that often because streaming that is incredibly fucking boring. So, does anyone want to watch me mine in Eve? Probably not, and streaming that would be a terrible idea because I would be griefed endlessly because I know that fucker of a game. Playing Final Fantasy and mining would be, well, simpler, I suppose. But it'd be the same level of boring. It would basically, you would just be endless streams of me picking up resources and then trying to play the market against itself. Ha 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 ha. BRB joining back up with the goons, teehee. Oh no. Yeah, so you don't really see that side of me, but I like these sorts of systems to play in. Like, I like being able to economically wage war with a game. It would be nice if we could actually do that with enough money. I don't quite know what the developers' plans are for that one, and I don't think there is a plan other than for us to be simple, powerless, you know, scavengers forever, basically. Which is, as they throw around the game, they throw around the terms anti-shooter and anti-game a lot, which you can see quite a lot in the design in the game being difficult. That's usually what it manifests itself as, the game being difficult. But I'm not quite sure how much power they're going to allow us to have. But, you know, if I'm gathering all this money, I'd like to, you know, be able to bankroll something, you know, interesting once in a while. It'd probably brighten up the place. Okay, so that is, again, net profit. Amazing. The other kind of, you know, iffy thing is, you know, you can get, you know, start collecting guns, but I don't think really they're worthwhile enough to really care to do that. Though you can get a lot of money out of a little for that, so I suppose that's the interesting thing about it. You can knock over a single squad, take all their functioning weapons, and then, you know, make somewhat more efficient money. But it really depends on who you're going after and how your luck is with the drop systems for weapons. But weapon farming isn't exactly lucrative. There are, as I have found, way easier ways to macro this game to make shit tons of money. There just isn't really anything. There's no economy to game, and there's no buying and trading of resources because we're not supposed to do that, right? So if I could buy something and sell it to someone else, that's effectively, in a game like this, an infinite money glitch. But that's not really how that's not really sensible, in that that's just how an economy works. Like, if I can buy stuff from Grillo and sell it to Aramaki at a profit, that's just trading. But in the game currently, that would be effectively an infinite money glitch. I would basically stop playing the game at that point. I would just be sit here power playing, resources from one vendor to another. So for right now, all I can really do is stockpile a useless amount of ammunition and resources, and that's about it. Again, I would love to see more design be put into this, but I have absolutely no idea what these developers want to do or how long it's going to take them. And I think there's a lot more on their plate currently. Because, you know, a lot of the game is barely functioning. Okay, so more large medkits. I never have enough of these. Usually because I'm so wasteful and retarded, but... Well, I play Bagman and I just kind of run directly into problems and shoot them a lot. Usually I survive. Also, as I forgot, Bundleton also sells turrets, but these things are fucking useless. These are comedic, but also useless. I don't really need to stockpile any of that, though. I don't need a billion, rig lights. But I'd like to see the rigs overall evolve into not just these presets, but being able to actually determine what's in every single one of these, grids manually. I don't know how they're going to do that, though. The character system could also use an overhaul as well, because I feel like I want classes, but not characters themselves. I'd like to be able to customize a character and be able to spec into, certain, a certain larger tree rather than just being locked into a single character that's good at something. Because I feel like a lot of the characters aren't very good at anything. But anyway, right, time to build more of that army. I am building a nation, apparently. Those guys are just gonna stand around here doing nothing, but it'd be nice to actually have them be able to do something. So, sadly, unfortunately, this is all there is to the game. Like, I could do more missions, but at the end of the day, that's rather haphazard to do anyway, because the spawns are random and you may not actually get what you want out of them. So I haven't seen the Flesh Tank at all, but then again, I think he only spawns, but actually he does spawn in Ashen Mesa a bit. But it's mostly, whatchamacallit, I've only seen him in the Enclave, and I haven't actually seen him anywhere else. Actually, no, that's not true. I was playing offline and I did see him on Mesa once. But it's really not all that compelling because killing the bosses doesn't really do anything. I mean, there's plot, there's some theatrics in having to, fight these things, but a lot of the enemies, or larger enemies, are unkillable anyway, which is, I think, a mistake. Okay, so. What's the current stock of ammunition anyway? Okay. Bunch of 357 I'm probably never going to use, but hey, assets. Okay, so a ton of 545. Right. 9x19 is also at a comical level. 5.7 is just for the P90, I believe. Yes, just the P90, so that's if we ever want to use a P90. The 50 cal is good, though most of the weapons aren't terribly good to use them for. The Scar is good, it's just that there are better weapons. Also, GM6. The hell is GM6? I've not seen that. And heavy machine gun as well. There's apparently a Gatling gun. I don't know where it is. It might be a quest drop. Actually, quite frankly, we're kind of low on ammunition in my usual amounts here. Like the 308 and like the 5.56 is at an okay level here, but the shotgun is terrible because I've lost most of it. I'd think I would have more 12.7, but I guess not. But then again, subsonic is only used for one gun, and that gun sucks. If anyone tried to invade your base, they would wonder why these random scavs have 15 billion robot defenders. Yes, they would be met with an army of people standing around. Do I think we need base raiding mechanics? No, but it'd be nice to actually have my, my impressive army that's just kind of here for show. How many people do I even have? Because I can actually, right, 13, 17, 25 scav. Only 2 crazy cultists, though. I need to go buy more of those. But, something, it's kind of a company plus logistics is starting to come together here. Right, so let's see here. Now, what do I want to do now? You certainly have enough ammo to supply them all. Yes, and I would like to buy more, however they want to let me. However, you know what? I want to have a look at Elephant Mausoleum. I still have not seen the Eclipse version of Mesa yet. Kind of annoying, but that's gonna happen because those variations are very rare. However, I do want to have a look at Elephant Mausoleum because there is oh, I can spawn over here. Right, this map is actually immense. To the point where I think it's uselessly large, but I actually want to go over here and look at them to actually see if I get anything useful out of this. So I suppose we'll do this and then call it a night. Because unfortunately, until there's a major update, I think that's about all we can do with this game. It's rather fun to play, but there's really nothing to do. See, I'm more of the tripwire and punji sticks variety of the base defenses. It would be nice to actually have any kind of customization for your base and building it up anyway. In any possible way. Troops, resources, bonuses, and, faction, credibility so some people don't come bother you or... Oh, lovely. It's the night variation. That's exactly what I didn't want to have. But...
Let's roll out.
Right, I didn't get the Eclipse, but oh no, now I've got the absolutely horrifying and incredibly difficult to navigate night variation of Mausoleum. Great! Okay, so we're over here. I've been over here exactly once. Yes, Destroyer, that's the exact kind of thing I would like to see as well, but now I have to, I don't know this side of the map terribly well, and now I have to go find my way, and I can't see anything. Uh-oh. And you better believe it's more fucking cyborg zombies. So what's the difference? It's fucking dark. It's hard to see. There are more zombies around. I think a Mother Courage can spawn on this map. I don't know. Okay, there's a very large area here with lots of supplies typically, but I have to actually find it first, because it's somewhere around here. Like, there's a bunker that's very close to this area that I don't know where it is, though. Like, it's somewhere in this trench line, but I don't know where it is. Also, note the red lightning, which, I don't know what that's about, but it's probably not good. That's probably not a very good atmospheric, Is that a brawler? Yes, it is. Okay, we gotta be careful around that. It's a heavy brawler, too. I think they have a one-hit kill. So, don't get hit by that. Yeah, as I suspected. This is a nightmare to navigate, because I can't fucking see anything, nor do I know where anything is. But this is why we do these things, to find out. Oh, wonderful, the fog's getting thicker over here. Great! Okay, the red lightning is caused by a buildup of electrical charge in clouds, but this case the excess charge is released into the ionosphere. Okay, so effectively, electromagnetic radiation in the clouds, making lightning very scary and red. Probably not too terribly good for the atmosphere either, but, well, we've nuked the place, so why would we bother? That is a light source from nowhere. I think there's supposed to be a flashlight or something on the ground, but there's nothing there. Okay, so I think I'm getting close to this area. Actually, no, this is the open area. Okay, this is the end of the trench. Okay, so where the fuck was it? There's a room. There's a dugout somewhere along the trench line with a lot of shit in it. Though I don't know exactly where that is. I think it's right here. This is why we do reconnaissance, I suppose, so I can figure it out. Now, are those flashlights or enemies? I can't really tell. It looks like just random light sources. Here it is. Okay. Oh. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Why is that in there? I don't think he can get out of that room, thank God, but no. That's a grabber. That's unkillable. You can't actually kill that. That is straight up unkillable. So yeah, it's a wonderful room you've got. I'm not going anywhere near it, I guess. I guess I'm going somewhere else. Well, I guess we're going to explore the rest of the map. It's fucking large. So yeah, we want to leave this area immediately. See, that's one of the enemies that are straight up unkillable no matter what weapons you have, which I don't necessarily agree with. But, dem's the realities. Like, I think that tanks being totally passive to you is kind of silly, considering how many things are violently, immediately, violently, aggressively towards you. Tanks of all things, one of the more terrifying things, having absolutely no care whatsoever in your existence. It's kind of strange. But also, you should be able to kill literally everything. But this is somewhat against their design points, I guess. That's a brawler. Yeah, that's an extraction point. Oh. You know what? Let's not. Brawlers aren't terribly difficult to kill, but I definitely don't want to start a fight in the middle of somewhere where I can't see anything. It's probably not all that bad, but I do really want to explore more. This is kind of an odd way of doing it, though, so that actually probably lead to an exit over there. But then again, at this point, I might be punished for exploring around here because I can't fucking see anything, and they're throwing they're throwing the elite cyborg spawns at me. Yes, I'm playing Bagman currently. Because he bag. They are just spawning all around me, and I don't really like that. Thankfully, they're as blind as I am. Yeah, I think, Eggroll, that's probably a better way of going about it, whereas the bosses, there are some bosses that you need people to help you with, whereas you need a full, a four-man team armed to the teeth in order to take them down. But apparently, there are some bosses that are just straight up unkillable. Like, apparently, Mother Courage's, you can't kill no matter what the fuck you throw at them. Those definitely need sound effects. I like the, the bomber deployment over here, but those definitely need sound effects. Okay, so I think this is near the edge of the map over here. I don't think I'm allowed to go past this area without going up. Are those supposed to be stealth solar powered or some shit? No, they're just regular bombers that bomb the area with cyborgs. Yes, they just kind of spew cyborgs out of a tube underneath the plane. Is there night vision? Well, there's the tactical camera. I don't have that on me right now, and there's a lamp, but I don't think we have nods of any description. Now, what the fuck was that? See if we can find anything. Oh, I know going into the trench system is probably more lucrative. There's a bunch of rooms in there I can probably just grab shit from, but I do want to look around. Especially on this variation. I've never actually been on this variation. There we go. I don't see anything out there. That's the map boundary. It'll tell you where the actual map boundary is, but that's basically there's nothing over here warning. More brawlers, huh? Okay, so it seems like they just spawn brawlers everywhere in this variation. Okay, there's one in the hangar. I think there's a quest to kill one of them in the hangar. Uh-oh. Oh no. Now, you see, I could shoot, but the problem is I have no idea what the fuck is around me, so that could very easily end very badly. The tactical camera would definitely be useful here, but the problem is I don't know if I'm going to get this variation, so I don't know to take it or not. And I'm going to have to drop it to carry a heavy item if I want one. Yeah, the fact that your character takes up, like, a massive part of the screen is a little much, but things like that, camera angles, you know, lines of fire, hitboxes, these are all very much these aren't quite working sort of things. These are here, you can play the game and that's about it currently. Like, it functions more than just barely functioning, but not by much. So there's definitely a whole lot of, like, the UI and things like that are very, very, very much not fucking done. Okay, I think I'm in the trench system now. I recognize the contact bricks that are you know, defending the trench, which is rather funny. Just talk about the size that I got it at. Well, unfortunately, that do be Twitch. Okay. Finally, loot storage after a while. Like, Bagman being large, though, is funny because I have to, like, well, I have to crouch through this door. That's funny. That's kind of an accidental whoops of a game design that I actually like that they left in. That may not be final, but I hope it is, because it's funny. Because I'm playing the large man with an incredibly large amount of hit points and an immense strength to carry all of this loot. I also have to duck through every goddamn doorway. It's got personality to it. It doesn't look like there's anything else over. Actually, nope, there's something over there. That is, however, in the next bunker system, over there. Which is in a completely different fucking trench, apparently. Oh. Oh, this is this room that I can't fucking see anything in, but okay. I can see where the loot is. It's a lockbox, but...
All in a day's work.
It dark, more at 11. Oh! Oh, oh. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's a no. That is a go the other direction. Okay, so as I see, we're probably gonna go back out the hangar exit because that seems to be the only safe fucking place. Okay, this room is actually lootable, though. This is this big-ass container room that might have some stuff in it. Or, you know, not, you know, just, you know, maybe not just a fucking grabber just sitting there. We get a little bit something else for our troubles here, but yeah, as you can see, it dark. Oh yeah, the thing looked like a teddy bear. Yeah, and it also will instantly kill you, and it also is invincible no matter how much ammo you put into it. Okay, good. Fair amount of supplies here. Well, valuable resources, I should say. The precision components are okay in terms of value, so I guess we're just going back through the hangar, because that seems to be the safest option here. Oh, okay, this doesn't lead directly to an exit. Actually, no, actually it may. I think. I can't really see. No, it doesn't. It just leads up here. Okay, so we have to sneak around the brawler to get down there. That's a whole lot better than, you know, having to go through a grabber. Yeah, funnily enough, I haven't seen high no hair of an RPG-7 here, even though that would be incredibly, you know, usable. We do have heavy weapons in the form of 40mm grenades and an anti-tank rifle. The problem is they can't hurt those. I would definitely have, like, a missile that its ammo is like a heavy item. I would definitely stomach carrying that. Okay, actually, hang on here. We might actually be able to do a funny here. The zombies are kind of weird, though. Well, actually, no, we can't. Yep, that was unavoidable. Okay, how big are we getting here with this engagement here? Okay, there's just another zombie over there, and then the brawler. So as long as we don't get punched in the face by the brawler. Okay. Good. Very good. Wonderful. There was literally only the guys in this hangar at the end. Items, I don't really need it. I need smaller items, if I may. Ah. Yeah, there's also more loot over here. Wonderful. Okay, so this is... Oh, right, I still have to walk a bit farther. Right, so this is actually... Right, no, it's over there, but we still have to go through the back of the trenches here. You see, the funny thing is that this is where Mech Trenches the map would have started, but they had to split those maps, apparently. It was just too big. So this is actually where we're going, is Mech Trenches.
I hate it down here.
It was dark. Okay, so unfortunately, that wasn't terribly lucrative because I couldn't fucking see anything and there were boss monsters literally everywhere. Rather unfortunate. Also, I should have shoved all of that shit in my inventory. I could have started more problems, but I decided not to because I couldn't see shit. Not sure if I can get over the real-time water clock thing. Sir! Hold up, for this moment here. Now, you actually probably have heard about the whole real-time water clock thing, but okay, so what I will tell you is this. I have, like, 30 hours at this point into this game, right? That's how many days of water I have. it very quickly ceases to matter. So the complaints you've heard about it are really overblown. Yes, it's there. Yes, if you run out of loot. Well, they take away your stuff, but I believe you keep your rigs and your characters. So it's not actually as bad as it appears to be, and you can very quickly make this completely irrelevant. Like, I have 4 months of water. There's still probably going to be a wipe anyway. I haven't heard anything about it, but it wouldn't surprise me that this game may need a couple of wipes as it goes through early access. So what's up with the game's stability? Is the number better? Apparently, as I have been told by at least one person, that yes, lower stability is better. Yeah, I just started playing for a few hours, then got the flu and reset my darn game. It was very frustrating. Well, at that point, you didn't really have anything to begin with. It was, yeah, that might have been a little annoying, but it's very easy to get everything back if you've just started. But if you can, it really is, actually, you need to have a bunch of it anyway, because you need like 20 days of water in order to unlock all the functions of your base, and that's kind of what it's for, not necessarily just to like penalize you or terrify you with, fear of missing out, as most people would call it. It's basically just a new player build-up period. That's really it. Once you're actually established in playing the game routinely, it doesn't matter at all, which is, I think, it's failure as a design thing. It's there, and it introduces the idea that you need to work hard to survive, but very quickly it is an afterthought, which I think is the real flaw of it. You could probably do that better, though. I'd like to see if they get rid of the whole you die if you don't have any water thing. I would like to actually see there be benefits and bonuses in your base that you have to supply with food and water to showcase that you are supplying not only yourself, but the people in your innards. As you can see, there more NPCs show up the more water you have. So it'd be very nice if that actually led into a system where I could get things out of that by supplying my base with resources like food and water. That's what I'd like to see that develop into if they don't keep the whole, haha, it's a wipe. It makes sense in context. However, I don't think it's doing amazingly right now, even if it isn't really that big of a deal, and people are making a massive shit fit about it. It's really overblown. So it's not even like, I think those people are overreacting, but I have to admit that the mechanic isn't really doing what it's doing anyway. Doing what it wants to do anyway. It's not really that effective. I think I funnel a crafting system into that realm. More than likely, yeah, because crafting in this game is present, but you can only craft one thing. It's ammo, and that doesn't work. So there's definitely that there, but I'd like to see more base upgrades. I don't know how they're going to work into that sort of thing, but they definitely could. And right now, I'm sitting on a giant pile of money and a ton of resources that I would love to do something with, but I can only just play the basic gameplay loop right now because that's the only thing in the game. Ah, right. These are actually pretty pricey. Good. That made up for not getting an entire backpack full during that entire thing, but that was a really sketchy map spawn anyway. Unfortunately, sometimes the maps are so just not good that you really just should leave immediately and get another spawn. Or get a new map that you can actually farm properly. Then the danger is just getting out without being, like, murked by a boss character that you can't kill. But as I've been rambling on through the entire stream, there's not a lot here, even if the game is playable. It still needs a lot of development in a lot of areas. It's still a perfectly fine game. It's just that it's incredibly rough, and you can see how a lot of the game is ideas at this point in the head of developers and not actually in the game. Right, so there's that. And not necessarily a net profit, but whatever, I'm just hoovering up all the... Oh, good. Well, actually, no. I guess I'm not getting that restock ever, then. I guess the timer got broke. Oh, well. Actually, well, no. Okay, then. Interesting. Do you think it will be like... It will become another Tarkov in dev for a decade? I think that this game... I'm not quite sure. I don't quite understand. Well, I don't really have a good read on the developers in terms of quality. That will be seen, I suppose. They're all industry veterans, so they say, but we know that could very easily mean absolutely nothing. They seem very, very dedicated to the vision of the game that they're making. Whether that actually works out into actually being a game that is actually good, we shall see. I like the lore, I like the world. I really hope this game gets far more detailed and does so very quickly. Because unfortunately, this game actually needs to provide substance more than Tarkov, or any other game like Tarkov, because Tarkov has the dream in it. What's the dream? The dream is I'm so good at video games that I become world famous and, someone sucks my dick. That's Tarkov. That's what you get with PvP shitfests. I don't necessarily like those because I know it's really, that's not actually going to happen. Even if I'm turbo good at Fortnite, no one's gonna suck my dick. And on top of that, I don't want to punch other people in the face in order to enjoy the game, right? I don't want to have to punch out the bouncer in order to go to this one specific club to enjoy the fucking atmosphere every time I want to go there. So that's what me and PvP is like. But the problem is, without the dream, which is the endless cycle of PvP and going, haha, I'm so good at this game, there isn't actually a lot here. There could be, but that's a major quick on-ramp to success and popularity that the game does not have. So this game actually has to do more than Tarkov to be any way like Tarkov, or popular any way like it. I hope it does, because I definitely do like this sort of game. However, it's got a long ways to go. It definitely looks like it's going to be a very unique experience overall, but it's got a very long way to go to get to anywhere good. I switched to PvE Tarkov. A lot of people, I agree with this entirely. A lot of people are just tired of the extraction shooters. Like the battle royale and extraction shooter phase has been done with me for years. I don't really like having to, again, punch out every single motherfucker in the room in order to have some fucking fun. But this game's got a long way to go before it's actually like a world-class sort of thing, but it definitely feels like it's already gotten a unique style, so it's uniquely identifiable, at least. So it's got unique, distinguishing qualities about it. It just needs to become more than, well, just this, because this is basically on par with PvE Tarkov. I mean, PvE Tarkov also has the benefit of years of development, which is, you could say that Tarkov has been stuck in development hell for years, and the updates have gotten slower and worse over time. But it still has the decades of near 10 years about of refinement to actually under its belt to make everything kind of at least smooth out the rough edges a little bit, streamline the situation a little bit, so it's not as terrible as it possibly could be, right? Even if there are still things like performance and, a lot of other weird shit that could possibly happen to ruin your game, there's still a lot less of it than it started with. It's like a Helldivers curve instead of Tarkov curve. Well, Helldivers would be an interesting thing, but I don't think the game has the right qualities to be as big as Helldivers 2 was. Helldivers 2 was great because it definitely showcased you can make a PvE game and it can be popular. We don't need PvP games and only PvP games in our video game releases. You can definitely do that type of game, and unfortunately it takes a lot of work. And it also looks like just only recently the Helldivers 2 developers have actually righted their troubled ship of terrible balance decisions that are now getting back on track. So not only is it not easy to do, it's also very easy to fuck up once you've even gotten that one, as we saw. So you could definitely go down this road, but it's not exactly free and easy. It's kind of wrought with its own perils. But I don't think they're set to be adding content that quickly, though it definitely looks like they've been doing multiple hot fixes like once a week currently. So that's a good sign. But I don't think they're going to be able to add content like that at that kind of a pace with maps and whatnot, and all the content that could be made into the game. I don't think they can do it that quick yet. I don't think they're even going to be in a position to actually handle that, because they have a very grand vision for their maps, but they're only now coming to realities that a game engine can't really handle that, so they kind of have to chop it up. Like, as I saw from concept art, this whole ass area was one map. So, Elephant Mausoleum and Mech Trenches were one section. I believe Scrapyard Nexus was probably in there, as you can see here. This map was they actually tried to make this map. or they at least blocked it out and, set up zones before they realized the engine can't fucking handle this, so we have to chop this up. So Scrapyard Nexus is probably, connected to this, even though Scrapyard Nexus is probably the smallest map in the game, I think. It's kind of just an afterthought. But so, Ashen Mesa and Scorch Enclave were supposed to be kind of like the front line, more or less. Elephant Mausoleum and Mac Trenches were supposed to be the middle of the map, and then everything back here was supposed to be the end of the map. Stairway Gate is actually, there's footage of Stairway Gate, but it's very, 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 very work in progress and very, very much not done. It's got like basic map geometry, and it's very clearly not done, even though it's apparently a very unique playing map, as people have said. So, this was all supposed to be one map, and they very quickly figured out that they can't do that. They spent a lot of time putting all of this stuff together, like prefab sections, so they can like make the maps with somewhat seemingly like visually recognizable things in quick fashion, so they can actually have like a base that they have like 5 or 6 variations of a base, or pieces of a base that they can throw on the map that they don't have to sit there manually making by hand. So they've been doing things, but I don't think this game's development, at least for content, is going to be very quick, because they have a very large vision that they now have to kind of figure out a way to, part out and piece together again after they're done. So, I don't know what they're going to do with this, but I think this is the way that the maps are currently is a compromise, because their vision was too big for a single game engine. So, and on top of that, in addition to more content, the game needs a whole lot of optimization passes, because my god, this game runs like ass. But I don't think this is going to be anywhere near as quick or as routine as Helldivers, so I wouldn't expect that at all. We don't really know what these developers are, now that they're actually, they stuck their hand in the bonfire and released early access, apparently earlier than they wanted, as everyone says. But now that they've stuck their hands in the bonfire, we don't really actually know how well they can get on with it currently. It's nice to play the game, though, and see it, but we don't really quite know how well these developers are going to get on with adapting their vision into the game as we have it right now. So it really is all wait and see, but it is okay as a game if you just want PvE Tarkov. PvE Tarkov has probably less going for it than this in terms of gameplay loop, because while you can do missions and things like that, there really isn't anything going on. You're just kind of farming maps and the NPCs come to bother you once in a while. So it is about the same thing, but I think this has more going for it, whereas PvE Tarkov is kind of a compromise and not really what the game was supposed to be. But then again, really, you could say that Tarkov's gameplay itself isn't really what Tarkov was supposed to be at the beginning of the day. But, well, at least we'll have things like Stalker 2 next month that tide us over while we're waiting for this game to get its get on with it. But this game, I think, has the capabilities to be a good game on the level of Tarkov and Helldivers 2, but I don't think it's going to be very quick that it gets there. But there's definitely a lot of content going around on YouTube that I'm seeing. So this is why I wanted to stream the game again, even though we've basically hit the end game. Surprise, there's nothing to do, because there isn't one. So, there is definitely a lot of content coming around, circulating around with YouTube, kind of reminding me of how Helldivers 2 got its YouTube community together, and everybody started producing videos of the same fucking things over and over again. That seems to be happening, so it looks like we've got a foundation. Or people believe in the game enough to actually make that foundation for content elsewhere. I will probably be a part of that. But yeah, it's still a lot of unknowns at this point. We basically have to wait for the developers to actually put together the game. How long that's going to take and how good it's going to be on the way to getting there, I have no idea, but that's basically it. The end game is for the players to go touch grass. Yes, after they get a bunch of water, you are free now to go touch grass. You may take a break from the horrible Forever War and go touch grass. So, the game is definitely not complete yet. It's functioning, but it is effectively like fiddling with, your hands, more or less, in terms of a game currently. But that's, looking over at Tarkov PvE, that's more or less what you're doing in Tarkov PvE anyway, because we know that game's not really going anywhere in that direction anyway. Yes, it has PvE. People have been, have also equally been clamoring to stop it from having PvE, because they want to force everyone to play the PvP shitfest shooter. So, I don't expect that to go anywhere, and it also looks like Tarkov's development is probably going down the, down the toilet currently with the developers and their quality, as seen by how they had to sell PvE in like $100 special edition that nobody who actually bought the previous top dollar special edition had access to. So, I want a Tarkov XCOM like. I have no idea how you would actually do that, but interesting. But the game is playable, but really it is just kind of just fiddling your, twiddling your thumbs and kind of fucking around here. Until we actually get something substantial. There's no dream here yet, but there very well could be, because there's definitely vision. There's an immense amount of vision in this game, and that's something that's actually very good, because a lot of games that come together and are complete have no vision, and they suck because of it. That's actually much harder to get, rather than, actually, putting a game together, air quotes, out of nuts and bolts, and, making a functioning soulless zombie, more or less, in terms of game design. You have a game, it functions, I can press A, and I shoot people, or B, that I jump, and if I make it to the end of the shooting and the jumping, I win. That's a video game. Is that interesting? No. This game has a very interesting concept to set itself in, but it's not all there yet. So unfortunately, the only thing to do with that is wait and hope, really, at the end of the day. That's what we should. I shall pray the most important dreams to the mech Messiah. I shall pray that the game shall be good and the content updates shall be plentiful and entertaining. Bless us, Lord, with good game. I hear no answer yet, but I stand here waiting for one. Mech Messiah, deliver us from the hell of dead game, dead thread, and to popular game, though hopefully not insuffering. No, insufferable. I know it's a lot to ask, but do something for us, please. I ask, but he never answers. The Mech Messiah works in very mysterious ways. But unfortunately, yeah, so the game's fun, and it's probably more productive than playing Tarkov PvE, because no one really gives a shit about Tarkov PvE anyway. Some people want to play it, and it's entertaining, and some people have been asking for it for a long time. But I don't think that game is going anywhere, because I kind of feel like they only made PvE as, like a saving throw or a sort of dead-end street to walk down, because they've run out of ideas. I don't know. I don't think that's going anywhere. This at least is about the same currently as it is, and this might go somewhere. Whereas Tarkov PvE definitely isn't going somewhere. So if all you wanted to play was Tarkov PvE but a little bit more interesting, well, there's this game. But it is incredibly early access and totally not done. What we need is more dreams here. That requires a bit of hope, though, which is kind of difficult to put into the situation. I don't know what they're going to do, but I want to see what they do with this game, because I feel like there's a lot you could do this, but it all comes down to what the fuck they actually want to do anyway. I would definitely like to rule the world because I have infinite amounts of money, though. That'd be nice. I like it. No cheaters so far. Well, it's because the multiplayer is barely functioning. I don't think that, that's the thing. I think that there are probably cheaters out there, but the multiplayer is barely functioning, so no one really plays it. So you're not gonna see them! But I think this has potential to go somewhere. It's just that we have to wait and see if that actually comes to pass, but alright. So Tarkov was doing okay. Well, I honestly, I look at PvE Tarkov and look at it and go, I don't think it's going anywhere because I don't think they had any direction to begin with. I don't think they're gonna suddenly have now. Or SP Tarkov. That's still functioning, but now we have PvE in the actual game, and I don't really want to go near it anyway, but meh. Alright. That's it for me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host, Phontomen, and this has been The Forever Winter. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any reasons to continue to play the game until there's a massive content update, so, well, there's plenty more games to play and plenty of things I need to finish anyway. So, I'll be back when there's something to actually talk about, I suppose. But I really do hope this game goes somewhere, but unfortunately, that's something we've said about a lot of games currently, and they really haven't amounted to actually anything. There's a lot of hard work in video games. It's not just hopes, dreams, and ideas. You actually have to put into work, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't actually put in the work. But we'll see. And also, I may not be online on Thursday, because we have a hurricane coming around on Wednesday. We're putting up the shutters tomorrow, and we'll see how things go. So, may not be here Thursday, but I'll probably be alive. But, this week's gonna be kind of messy, but I'll keep you all posted. Until then, I have been your host, Phontomen, and that's been the show. Enjoy the rest of your evening, folks, and I will see you next time, whenever that is.